better cock your pistols.
You. As heavy as this was, I should have known. I'll take your money, all right. But I would have killed Houston for nothing.
Come on, Houston. For crying in a bucket. Let's open some more of these.
Well, now, come on, we gotta save a couple for when Mama, Vince, and the kids get here. I mean, they want to open some.
Just one, maybe two.
Bo, didn't your mom ever tell you about what killed the cat?
Well, maybe just one more, I guess.
Well, I hope you got something useful instead of all these toys and stuff you're probably just gonna give to some museum. Happy birthday, Houston. Guess who? Now they got guessing games.
Well, Houston will be able to tell who it is from the present.
We never had all these guessing games in my house. You got socks for your birthday and underwear for Christmas.
Buon compleanno! Ecco qua! To toast your birthday, caro Houston. The best. Chianti Classico, the best.
Well, thank you, Mama. Listen, did you get here all by your lonesome?
No. Vincent just dropped me off. He's going now to pick the boys.
Well, you're going to be sorry that you're here early because you're going to have to listen to Bo on his favorite subject, which is how poor he was.
Oh.
Y'all go ahead and make fun. I'll tell you, we're poor enough not to waste time on foolishness like this. Look at this, Houston. A mounted rabbit's head and they done put horns on it.
Well, Bo, that's a Texas jackalope. You know, a cross between jackrabbit and antelope.
Jackalope.
Yeah, Mama, they're very rare these days.
Ain't no use at all. Ain't no purpose to it. Wait a minute, it could be a clock. I think it might be a clock. Except where you tell the time's a puzzle.
Why do you think it's a clock?
'Cause it's ticking.
Oh.
Houston.
CJ, I'm not getting any pulse.
Oh, mio Dio, che disgrazia.
Wait. He's still alive.
I'll call the hospital.
I'm gonna stay with him, all right?
Oh, Vergine Santa, perché non muoia. Dear God, please don't let him die. Oh, poor Bo. Poor Bo.
Doc.
Well, your friend has had a lot of luck. If you hadn't gotten him to the hospital so quickly by helicopter, well, I can't promise he'll stay as lucky. He has a severe concussion. There's a subdural hematoma.
Listen, Doc, if you'll just speak English for me, it'll make this whole thing a lot easier.
But if there are any next of kin, they should be informed.
He hasn't really got anybody. I guess I'm about as next to him as anyone.
And we'll hope he continues to be lucky.
Nurse Bartlett called physical therapy on 214. Nurse Bartlett called physical therapy on...
Houston? Houston?
I don't know. The doctors are doing everything they can, but I just don't know right now.
Houston! Houston! Come on, let me help. Will you remember me? I'm the police.
We know who did this, Vince. We know.
No, we don't.
We know who did it, Vince! What's the matter with you? Don't you read the newspapers? Look at this. Huh? This man is a contract killer. I'm the one to put him away, Vince. Now, he swore if he ever got out, he was coming after me. Well, he filled his end of the bargain. He's out. He gave it his best shot. Now it's my turn. This is just a little something for the paper boy, all right?
Houston, you can't do it this...
CJ, we've got work to do. CJ!
Dirk Bronson. We can't really be sure where he is, though, Houston. But his last known associates are labor racketeers. And he worked for this man, Fred Bothig. Apparently they're quite tight, but whether or not Bothig had anything to do with the breakout, nobody knows.
Well, he knows where Bronson is, and that's all that matters.
Houston. You be careful. You be real careful, okay?
Bronson.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bothig.
It's all right, honey.
But I tried to
No,
keep...
it's all right.
Where is he?
What is this? No introductions, no hello, no nothing?
I asked you, where is he?
All right, it's okay. I know who you are. You got out of your depth, didn't you, putting Bronson away? Well, you're out of your depth here, too. Now, if you're smart, you make a U-turn, you get your tail out of here.
Listen, I asked you a question.
All right.
All right. Down by the water somewhere. I don't know, maybe the marina or something. I don't know. I didn't talk to him. I just heard that. You're a dead man, Houston. I mean, you think you're smart, don't you? Well, you're dumb. You're chasing your tail around trying to find Bronson. You got emotional on this one. It's a big mistake. You should have just stopped and tried to figure it out.
So why don't you educate me?
All right. How did Bronson break out? I mean, he didn't blast his way out, did he? You wonder about that, huh? He got out easy. He greased his way out with money. I mean, that's big money, too. Bronson doesn't have that kind of money.
So somebody broke him out.
Yeah, all right, you win a cigar on that.
Just to get to me.
Huh. Oh, well, you win another cigar. All right, who did it, huh? Why don't you try for the big stuffed panda up there on the shelf?
Castanos.
Yeah, I wanted to see that. I wanted to see the look on your face when you heard
I don't believe you.
it. All right, don't believe it, you know. I mean, that's the word on the street. Castanos wanted to buy Bronson, anybody else to get to Houston.
It's impossible.
Impossible, huh? Castanos does the impossible.
It can't be done, that's all there is to it. Simply no way Mr. Castanos could operate from here. He's segregated from any other of our resident population. He has no visitors. The mail is screened.
No mail in or out, huh?
Mr. Houston, Mr. Castanos is a homicidal, psychotic killer. But this is not Poland, or Uganda for that matter. He is permitted mail. Of course, we would read every word. But there has been none.
None at all.
Hard to imagine, isn't it? One of the world's wealthiest men.
Copper mines, real estate properties, shipping lines, amusement parks, you name it.
Father leaves him an empire, he decides to become Jack the Ripper. Well, when you're through, you let me know. And leave your pass at the gate.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Houston. Happy birthday to you. Did you have a happy birthday, Mr. Houston? I trust at least it was eventful.
It was you, wasn't it?
What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm insane.
Listen, would you get the doctor for me, please?
Houston, a word of advice. Do the things you always wanted to do. Vacation. See those old friends just once more. And if you are a religious man, pray. You ruined my mission, Mr. Houston.
Your mission? All you did was carve up helpless women.
No. My master, Lord of the netherworld, revered be his name, sent me on a mission to find the soul in the body of women. Inside them. I looked everywhere. You stopped me from finding it. Maybe your associate, that C.J. Parsons. Maybe she is hiding it from me. Inside her body.
Listen to me. If anything happens to her...
Temper, Mr. Houston.
You really got them all fooled, don't you? I should have killed you when I had the chance.
You can't kill me. The police can't kill me. How many bullets did it take for them just to capture me? The doctors say I am a miracle, which I am.
Tell me about Bronson.
Bronson is one. There are others. It is all arranged. I have put it into work. They are going to kill you, Mr. Houston. I chose only the best people. You are going to die.
tough guy. You're gonna talk. It's only a matter of time.
Kiss off.
Get it, Vance. He's too tough a guy. Yeah, you see, tough guys, they consider it gauche to talk, especially where he's going.
Back to McNeil's Island forever.
Yeah. Yeah, Vince, there's just no way to make a tough guy talk these days. I mean, your old proverbial rubber hose, no, that's gone. It's all a thing of the past.
Hey, pal. You put a mark on me in here, I'll scream for my lawyer.
Well, listen, we wouldn't want to bend your civil liberties. No, we wouldn't want to do that at all. But I tell you what, we might tell a little white lie or two.
What are you talking about?
Well, I thought we'd make a couple phone calls, you know, to the judge, the DA, public defender's office. You let them know just how much you're helping us out here, how much you're talking to us, and make sure it goes on your record.
Yeah, you send me back to the joint with snitch pinned on me, I'll be dead within a week.
Is that right? Son of a gun.
$1 million. $1 million and a ticket to the country of my choice. That was the deal.
The price to kill Houston.
Yeah.
You sent me a bomb for my birthday.
It was Castano's idea.
Castano said he hired 3 people to kill Houston. Who were the other 2?
I don't know.
Vince, why don't you make a couple phone calls?
Hey, listen, I'll be straight with you guys.
How'd he get in touch with you?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Castanos. Now, he is supposedly in an institution where he has no contact with the outside world, yet he got in touch with you, he got in touch with the others. He arranged prison breaks. Now, he's got to have a man on the inside. It might be a doctor, it might be an orderly. But I tell you something, you best tell me how he got in touch with you.
There was this guy, an orderly. His name was Felix. Anything we needed, we'd put the move on him, and he'd give us what we needed.
I know Felix. He would cooperate with you even if he was in trouble. I assure you, officer.
Doctor, I don't like to be this blunt, but you're a naive man. Judges do not like to issue warrants to toss a man's room these days unless they have a lot of cause. We've got cause.
Ran a credit check on the man, and he makes $17,400 per year as an orderly in this institution.
I don't know what it is. That sounds right.
Well, Doctor, he doesn't drive a Mercedes to work. Nothing quite that blatant, but he does have a stock and bond account at Eckworth Whitewood and Company that you could retire on. And I'll just bet you it's all due to good old Mr. Castanos.
Doctor, for the moment, we're including you in our confidence, but he must not know we've been here. We'll learn a lot more from keeping him under surveillance than if we arrest him.
Vince, I just came up with a fistful of airline tickets to all over the country. Tell me something. Why would an orderly be flying to all these cities?
Houston, all these airline tickets were to cities that had prisons. But according to Baby, all the cities had prison breaks that were on the same date as the airline tickets. Now, you know about Bronson because you nailed him, but there are 2 men that you don't know about.
Yeah, CJ, how's Bo doing? Is he holding up steady?
So far, so good, Houston. He's out of intensive care.
So far, so good.
Alvin Ambler. He's a very, very heavy hitter. He's mob-related. He is a recent resident of Walla Walla State Prison, and about a month ago he escaped. He's wandering around out there somewhere. New Jersey State Prison, Clevis Sims. He's a killer. And he's killed in many different ways.
Well, I suppose for $1 million in the house of your choice in Switzerland, he probably thinks it's a pretty good line of work.
Houston, these are the men who are hunting you.
CJ, at least we know who they are.
You had dinner yet?
No, I haven't. Where would you like to go,
Well, if I said Tahiti and out of all this mess, you'd say you had things to do. So how about Mama Novelli's?
Sounds good. Why don't we stop to see Bo on the way over there? Stay down.
You slept pretty comfortable all last night and all day that I've been here.
It's the best thing, Mama. I spoke to the doctor. He's encouraged.
Encouraged? Nice word. But he won't say a thing. Siamo sempre lì. God makes the cure and the doctor sends the bill. Although I must say that this doctor seems to be a good man, huh?
Well, thank you for being here, Mom. It makes me feel better.
Of course I'm here. Where else would I be? Oh, by the way, your friend, Mr. Lamar, he called from Texas. I told him not to fly back. There's nothing he can do. And besides, if Bo wakes up and he finds all his friends gathered around his bed, for sure he's going to think he's dying, and poof, up to St. Peter. Oh, how I wish I had that viliaco that did this in front of me right now.
No, you don't, Mama.
But who is this man that makes war on Houston?
Houston never talked about him, Mama. His name is Castanos.
But is he that bad?
Yes, he's that bad. A few years ago, Houston received a call from a friend of his who was in the diplomatic corps, stationed in Austria. The man's wife had disappeared. By the time Houston got there, they'd found the man's wife. At least they were able to identify her from the dental charts. Castanos left that much. Houston tracked him all through Europe, from Vienna to Corfu, to Rome, to Paris. It was easy because he'd left a trail of bodies. Houston almost caught up with him in London. But the police there got to him first. London bobbies don't carry guns. 3 of them cornered Castanos. He killed all 3, bare hands.
A madman's strength.
Houston continued to follow him everywhere he went. He followed him until he caught up with him again in San Diego, and he put the police onto him there. Our police do have guns. But it took 13 bullets to bring him down. 13. Now you know why Castanos hates Houston. He's on his way to see Castanos right now.
Mr. Castanos. Mr. Castanos. Fellows, I need some entry support, please. Mr. Houston.
Thank you.
Adonis? Mr. Houston's here. He'd like to speak with you again. Oh, come on now. You've had 8 hours sleep like everybody else.
That's not Castanos. Not him.
Call the infirmary.
Now, don't fight me, honey, or I'll have to hurt you.
Officer, this man was trying to assault me. His name is Alvin Ansel.
I have her. Get the door. You can do that at least.
How wrong I was. How totally foolish of me to hire people to kill Houston. Why, that was not ordained at all. Think how much fun it can be. Why, it would be delicious to kill Houston myself, as it should be.
The police are looking for you. I don't think they realize that this is personal between you and Houston.
Oh, no, no.
I'll tell them. If you let me go,
The soul of man is in women. Did you know that?
I'll tell them. They'll believe me.
You might be the one. I think you might be.
The one?
We're almost there.
You are really very nice, Miss Parsons.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry. I have to do this now. But it's really for the best. It will save so much trouble.
Damn it, Vince, don't tell me not to lose my temper. Now, you can't tell me in a town with 8,000 cops and one all-points bulletin that you can't come up with one lead.
Look, when I know something, you'll know something. We're doing everything we can. And in the meantime, calm down.
Fine. Would you give me a call if something comes up?
You got it, buddy.
CJ, where the hell are you? CJ, where are you? Castanos?
I have her, Houston. Are you there, Houston? Do you hear me? Houston?
I hear you.
Do you know where I am? It closed since I went away. We can have it all to ourselves.
Amusement park.
Why not join me? Just you and CJ and me. Let us see what we can dream up for amusement.
Yeah, well, I'm going to join you there, Castanos.
Of course you are. Because you understand she's merely the bait for you. After you, I'll deal with her. And Houston, I think she's the one. This time, I think I'll find the soul. And Houston, alone. If I see the police, I start to work on her. I have had much practice. I can work very quickly. But then, of course, you know that.
Mr. Houston, I couldn't help overhearing.
Well, keep it under your hat, would you, Pam?
You have to tell Lieutenant Novelli.
Don't you worry about a thing. I will handle Lieutenant Novelli.
It's just that I'm scared. I've never seen you with a gun before.
No? Oh, you haven't? This is different.
I know you're here, Castanos. Why don't you come out and show yourself, huh?
Welcome, Houston. You're right on schedule.
Where is she, Castanos? If this is just between me and you, why don't we keep it that way, huh?
Look around you, Houston. I own all that you can see. And now, I own you. And later, I shall own her. This won't take long, my dear. I'll be back soon.
Don't fret now. I didn't need him anymore, Houston. He would have spoiled it. Your police can find him later. It's just you and me now, Houston, as I promised. So, come ahead. I could have put that one right through your chest.
You swore no cops.
You think I'd risk leaving her with you if anything happened to me?
I told you what I would do.
Let's roll. Move out! Take Castanos out if you can.
Keep shooting! Shoot! Shoot!
Houston, it's over! It's over! Nobody could have lived through that fire we just laid down!
Well, where's the body, Vince?
We'll find him! All right, you guys, check downstream. The rest of you guys fan out. That body's gotta be here someplace.
You all right?
Houston, is it over?
It's over.
Your shotgun, Houston. One shell left, but one is enough.
Now it's over. Oh, my God. He's still alive. Get an ambulance.
I ain't so fragile I need to be mollycoddled.
I'll mollycockle you over my knee.
Wheelchairs are for babies. Besides, my head's what's got hurt, not my legs.
Welcome back. Hey, listen, how you feeling?
Now you listen to me, Senor Bo. You do as you're told and you behave. The doctor says you stay in the chair. You stay in the chair, capito? Ah.
Well, there he is. Come on out here. Hey, welcome back, buddy. Good to have you. How you doing?
Thank you. Oh, it's good to be back. Thank you. Thank you. These things are real.
Oh, he's so stubborn and ungrateful. I mean, he says he don't need no help.
That was this morning before these spells started to hit me. Every once in a while, I feel sort of
faintish.
Yeah, well, I bet you it's nothing that something cold wouldn't take care of. You know, like a beer, right, girls?
Yeah, I believe you're right. If you angels of mercy would be so kind as just direct me right over to the beer, I sure appreciate it.
This way.
Thank you.
I'll tell you something, Mama. Sometimes I think that old boy's not as dumb as he looks.
Ay, Rajona, Houston.
Yeah.
Ah! Get down in that chair.
No, I'll tell him.
CJ, what's the matter?
That was the hospital.
Castanos.
He woke up in the hospital ward, Houston. Laughed at them. The doctors. Said he was amazed they could think he'd ever die. Then he tried an escape. Dove through the window of the hospital room. He was on the 14th floor. It's over, Houston. He's dead.
Come here.
Better cock your pistols.
Billion stars. 400 billion in our galaxy alone. I'm awestruck whenever I consider the sheer enormity. And the irony is that we could ever suppose that there might not be other life out there.
We are all world-class scientists, Burke. You brought us out here to verify your alleged contacts. Are you instead going to subject us to a lecture from Astronomy 1?
They'll come. Conditions are right, they'll come.
We have been here 4 hours. I, for one, am very anxious to see what sort of trickery you have contrived. But let us get on with it.
How dare you?
This is me, Mardosian. You might fool these other puppies, but with me, you are out of your depth.
There. There, you see it? Mardosia. Ah, he's probably drunk.
What's the matter with him? I think so.
Passed out. He's dead.
Mr. Houston, yesterday, 5 scientists went into the desert on a somewhat extraordinary project. Those 5 scientists were not working together on this project. They are in competition for the Copernican Award. There is fierce jealousy among them. One of them, Dr. Ivar Mardosian, died.
I read something about that. It was a heart attack, wasn't it?
Yes, well, the fact is, not everything was in the papers.
You mean that there's a possibility that he didn't really have a heart attack, that maybe one of the other
The
scientists...
doctor has been autopsied, and the fact is, a heart attack did occur. But a heart attack can be induced by drugs or...
Excuse me, Ms. Eggstrom, but if in fact you do feel this way, perhaps you should talk to the police because they have resources...
There should be no police, no. The circumstances surrounding Mardosian's death cannot be made public. I must have your word that under no circumstances will you reveal any part of this conversation.
You got it. No,
Oh.
It is the allegation of the other scientists that Mardosian's heart attack took place during the first contact between us and extraterrestrial beings.
You mean like with yeah, little green ones, yeah.
As in little tiny creatures from outer space.
Yes, well, they did encounter something out there last night.
Little green
There
ones.
was something out there. Now, what the society wants you to do, Mr. Houston, is to prove it. Either way, verify the contact for us or prove that it was an incredible hoax staged to cover up his murder. You must be the judge.
Okay.
All through here. All through this entire area. It's low-level radiation, of course. Like footprints left behind, evidence of their passing. But Miss Extra must have told you all this. See, they approached from there. Always from the same direction. Then they hovered. And then they disappeared. We were all over, gathered by the motorhome. Mardosian was near the tent. But imagine the moment, to be in their presence. It was like touching God.
Yeah, I'll bet. Well, listen, I understand everybody here the other night was in contention for the Copernican Award.
My husband talks about touching God, and you talk about trivia?
Well, it's hardly trivia. I mean, that is a pretty prestigious award. It was worth $100,000 in cash, not to mention millions in endowments. You get to be in the limelight, get the respect from your peers. It's a dandy award, yeah. Now, from what I understand, Mardosian was the front runner in the race for it.
No one can accept the fact that Mardosian just died. He was too big a man. Well, this was bigger than he was. Mr. Houston, maybe the Copernican Award would be worth killing for, but Carl wouldn't have to. This contact makes the award his. And we have that contact on film.
You mean to tell me everything that happened last night, you got it on film?
That's right. Slides. The contact, the camp people, everything. It's a scientific record.
Well, that makes me feel a little silly. I mean, if you've got all of it on film, then we've got a record of Mardosian's death.
Well, those slides are still in the lab being developed. But we have pictures of a contact of a few weeks back.
This is bewildering. We tell you we have pictures of beings from other worlds, and you wonder about Mardosian's death? Those pictures are worth 1,000 Mardosians. Or Houstons, for that matter.
Sure.
Grandma Houston would probably disagree with you on that.
The cameras are set up to electronically sweep the camp at random intervals. Now remember, these pictures are from a previous contact.
Here. Here they come.
Yeah, it just looks like lights in the sky to me. I mean, that could be anything.
Watch.
Ah, there. This is the craft, hovering directly above our position. And the next frames, Mr. Houston, are probably the most significant photographs ever taken. These pictures were taken after the spacecraft landed.
Stop there. That, Mr. Houston, is an extraterrestrial being. On film. Incontrovertible proof of the first contact between men on Earth and beings from other worlds.
If you say so.
There. There's a head, an arm.
I can't see that.
They didn't come here to pose for portraits, damn it.
No, I'm sorry, but I can't see it. I mean, it could be an arm or a head.
All right. Tonight. You come here tonight.
Darling, please, please. It's supposed to be a top secret. The society doesn't want you to...
The society sent him here to prove this or call you a fraud. You come here tonight.
I'm projecting that conditions will be right. We'll make another contact. And I've asked everyone to be here.
If you met that face to face, would that cure your skepticism, Mr. Houston?
I'll be here. Okay, CJ, let's see the lineup of the people who were out at the camp that night.
Okay, Houston, starting with Ivar Mardosian, the deceased. Now, he is not your stereotype scientist with the glasses and the microscope. This one was referred to as the Rasputin of academia. As a matter of fact, he's a womanizer and a brawler, but tops in his field and first up for the Copernican Award, unless Carl Burke proves his claim that he had contact with extraterrestrial beings.
You mean if I wanted to know who had a good reason for wanting Mardosian dead, Burke would be a very good candidate?
He'd be first in line.
Now, what about Burke's wife? Now, I had a chat with them. Looks like she wears the shoulders in the family.
Well, she's a top photojournalist. I mean, she's dodged bullets in the Middle East. She's taken photographs of sharks in dangerous waters. She's a tough lady, as you say, but she knows the shot she wants to get, and she gets it.
Yeah, she gets the shot she wants. What about anything else she wants? Like maybe the Copernican Award for her husband?
It's possible. Now, this is Barbara Diane Newton. She's an internationally famous mathematical theoretician. Once upon a time, this girl didn't have a dime to her name, put herself through school with scholarships, and under the patronage of Mardosian. It's not a well-kept secret that her sponsorship by Mardosian was paid for favor. Now, this is Stu Glick. He is ingenious, he's ambitious, and he's one of the bright lights of the future in this area. He's the obvious heir apparent to Mardosian's crown and up for the Copernican Award. The question is, would he commit murder for the science prize?
Why don't I ask him?
Why don't you?
Mr. Houston, I don't know how I can help you. You see, it was on us, hovered over us. Then it was gone. Now, I don't know of any man-made vehicle that could maneuver that way.
In other words, you think that whole contact was real and not just an illusion?
What, to fool 4 world-class scientists? No, Burke isn't that smart.
Well, now, if it could be done, who is smart enough? Who could do something like that?
Me. I mean, why be coy? I'm a very bright guy. After Mardosian, it was only me, which means you needn't bother asking your next question.
Which is?
Could the whole thing have been rigged to cover the murder of Mardosian?
You are a smart guy. Well, what's the answer?
No way. If that had happened, I would have sensed it. I worshipped the man.
Yeah, well, the word is that he was about as popular as Cat in a Mouse House.
Of course they hated him. He was a genius. Believe it or not, Mr. Houston, all my life, people have hated me.
May I help you?
Yeah, my name's Matt Houston. I'm looking into the Mardosian death, and I understand you were out there the other night. Did you believe everything that went on out there?
Do I believe, Mr. Houston, in what went on the other night? In other beings? I have spent the past 11 years researching just that subject. You bet I do.
Listen, I understand Dr. Mardosian was working on some similar projects, too, and I wondered how...
Let's cut through all this, Mr. Houston. I had an affair with Mardosian. That is what you wanted to confirm, isn't it? I do wish it were more of a secret, but it isn't. So I live with it.
Well, yes, you're right. I'd heard that he'd taken advantage of you.
Well, at least I can claim my youth as my excuse. Some women never learn. Oh, that's right. There was more than one lady out there that night who had been, I believe the old-fashioned term was, wronged by the man.
Cheryl Burke? Dr. Carl Burke's wife?
Houston. I'm sorry the evening hasn't been more interesting for you, but waiting is the biggest part of science.
Well, I don't mind the waiting. I mean, this is all new to me. It's fascinating.
Yeah, well, the wind may jinx us. We've only been able to make contact when conditions were just so. I don't know why that is.
Listen, Miss Berg, I've got to ask you a question. It's usually none of my business, but can you tell me a little bit about your relationship with Mardosian?
That was over practically before it began. Why dig up that dirt?
You know why. It's because I have to.
Well, you didn't know Mardosian. He was dashing. His beard, his hat. He overwhelmed you. It didn't last very long. I was swept off my feet, sorry about it in the morning kind of thing. That's really all there was to it.
Well, did your husband know about it?
Doesn't the spouse always know? Maybe we're both just pretending it didn't happen, so it's easier to live with. If we're out in the open, then... I don't know. Carl is a very proud man. There's no telling what he might do.
Well, the problem is that sooner or later it's going to come up again. Somebody's going to bring it up. And, well, after all, your husband is responsible for bringing all the scientists out here the other night. And, well, they did all show up on his personal invitation. Mardosian did die under mysterious circumstances, and...
Are you intimating that my husband staged all of this to kill my lover? Mr. Houston, a lot of people hated Mardosian, including me.
Enough to kill him, maybe?
5 hours is a long time to wait, but Houston was willing to spend the time if E.T. was going to visit.
Well, coffee's up. As exciting as this night hasn't been, it's that. Or toothpicks to prop up eyelids. Anybody else? Ladies?
Something hot? Yes. Not for me, thanks.
Here, pass this down to Houston.
Thank you.
Here, I'll take it.
Bless you.
Too much wind. We won't be making any contact tonight. So we might as well wrap it up.
Keep coming out of it, Houston. Come on. Attaboy. Attaboy, keep coming out of it. Houston, you've been scaring the pants off me. No, just lie back. Don't do anything now.
What about your pants?
Oh, good. At least you're human again.
Human again.
Well, Houston, the last hour you've been talking about little green men and spaceships, really very spooky stuff. Here.
The last thing I remember were some hands. They were reaching out for me. And my car went off the road.
Houston, they didn't find you near your car. You were wandering around on the road like you were drunk. Now, one of the policemen recognized you and called Vince Novelli, and he sent you back here.
Lights. These lights came up behind me, CJ, and they were following me, almost chasing me. They ran my car off the road, and they're these little tiny hands.
Houston, you're beginning to worry me. You've been talking like that ever since I tucked you into this couch.
CJ, what time did Vince Novelli's boys pick me up out on that road?
Early, about 6 a.m.
I left Burke's Desert site at midnight. I lost 6 hours somewhere.
Well, Houston, in the state you were in, you could have lost 24 hours. It must have been quite a party.
CJ, I just drank coffee. That's all I drank. Somebody drugged my coffee, CJ. Somebody did not want me to get home in one piece. I've lost 6 hours, and I don't know where I lost them.
Houston, believe me, you fell asleep at the wheel, hit your head. You were hallucinating.
Was I, CJ? Now, I saw something, and it was there. I know it.
Houston, it's this case. We've been talking about extraterrestrials, UFOs. You thought it was happening. See, it's the power of suggestion.
No, CJ. No, it wasn't. It was out there. I saw it. It just appeared. It didn't make a sound at all. No, it just came in quiet. No sound. Now, what flies, CJ, without making a sound?
Vince Novelli.
Mama Novelli?
Yeah, listen, Mama, is Vince hiding out around there somewhere?
Ah, Houston. No, he's here. Un momento, eh? Vincenzo? Vincenzo? Telefono.
Hello.
Yeah, Vince, listen, are you still flying?
Still beating your wife?
What's that supposed to mean?
That's exactly my question.
No, Vance, I'm not getting personal. I'm asking you, are you still flying hot air balloons?
Why didn't you say so?
I just did.
Yeah, when I can find the time. Why?
Because I have to ask you a question. Now, is it possible to fly one of those hot air balloons at night and navigate to a specific spot and then just kind of stand still and hover?
Houston, that's stupid.
Yes, it is, Vance. It's stupid, but is it possible?
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, the hovering is the tricky part. The only guy I know would have a prayer is Marcel Dejean. He's a French champion.
Yeah, I'll bet you he's in town right now.
Yeah, he's in town for the Trans Am balloon race. How do you know?
Some little green man told me, Vance.
You... Oh.
Vince.
Hi, CJ. How's Houston this morning?
Well, now that's a good question. Let me be honest with you. I'm a little concerned about him. He's been talking about little green men with little tiny hands. Now, that's not like him.
Hi, Houston. Did you take the pledge this morning?
Thanks, Vince.
Now, what about what Houston was saying? To navigate to one spot without sound and hover there. It could be done?
Yeah.
Like I told you on the phone. The only guy I'd know would have a prayer is Marcel Dejean.
Where do I get a hold of him?
His rig should be right over there.
I think I'll have a chat with him. Excuse me, I tell you something. You
are just
Throw
the
me
man
off.
I need to see. Hold on. Could you talk to me for a minute? I understand you're a world champion balloonist.
Stand back, I'm about to fly.
Well, I know this will only take a couple of minutes. See, I had to ask you some questions. Now, I'm an amateur, and I was wondering, now, how can you make a balloon just kind of, well, sit still in midair, you know, like hover? I need some pointers.
I don't give pointers.
Well, now, come on, take a couple of minutes. Now, I understand that you're the only man in these parts that could make a balloon do those kind of things. Well, it's almost like a UFO.
Out of my balloon.
It's a little late for that. Wait, you're trying to kill me.
No violence. No violence. American. No sense of humor.
I'll show you a sense of humor as soon as we get back down on the ground. It's kind of like the way a hound dog goes after a bone.
Wait! I was only taking off.
Oh, would you come off it now, champ? Now, there was a man killed the other night when you pulled your little UFO stunt out at Burke's place. Now, you're flying yourself straight to jail.
I'm paid to pull off a little joke for that professor, and you're talking jail?
Wait a minute. You mean the professor paid you to pull that UFO stunt?
No, not Burke, his wife. She arranged everything.
Yeah, well, now it's all beginning to make sense.
She gave me $5,000. You think it's a lot of money, I know, but not to do what only I can do.
Just keep going, all right?
Balloons are leaves on the wind. These prevailing winds blow out into that desert. But to pose in flight, I had to invent a machine. Like a great fan to make the craft hover. And then there was rigging the arc lights and the amplifying horns to broadcast the sound.
Yeah, fine. That's all great. But would you tell me something? Now, why'd you chase me in your balloon last night?
I didn't.
What do you mean you didn't? You didn't chase me down the road from Burke's place last night?
Not only didn't I do it, but it can't be done. That's a winding road out there. No balloonist can regulate his speed and direction to follow a car along that road. Not even I. And I can make a balloon dance.
Yeah, listen, if you didn't follow me down that road last night, then who did, huh? Oh, boy. As long as we're out here, you suppose you could dance this thing over to Burke's place? Burke? I don't believe anybody's home. Their car's here. Mr. Burke! Mr. Burke! Matt Houston! God, that's gas. Needs a little air. Is that field phone call an ambulance?
Mr. Burke.
You don't bother. He's not in there. No, I'll bet you somebody turned on this gas while she was sleeping.
Can you hear me? This is emergency. Hello? Hello, I need an emergency ambulance. Ambulance?
The sheriff's station. We hear you loud and clear.
Want to run that by me again?
The door was locked. And like you, I heard the propane gas. I went around looking through the windows, and I thought she was dead.
That is not what I asked you.
When I saw the balloon, I didn't know who you were. And I thought it would look bad because I didn't want to be seen. So I panicked. I don't know what I was thinking.
Would you tell me why you ran?
I cannot take the scandal, all right? Everyone knew about my relationship with Mardosian, and he is dead. And now I thought that Cheryl was dead. There's nothing more I could do to help her. I am up for tenure at the university. I am up for the Copernican Award.
What's going on out here? Yeah, we passed an ambulance coming in. Is anybody hurt?
Mr. Burke, your wife was in that ambulance. It seems that the gas was left on in motorhome.
We left her napping. Oh, my God.
No, Mr. Burke, listen, it's fine. She's gonna be all right, just fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, she's fine. She's taken care of, okay? Just relax. Now, I've got to ask you a couple of questions. Now, where were you just before you got here?
I was at the lab picking up the slides of the sighting.
Yeah, are these the slides of the sighting the same night that Mardosian was killed?
That night, yes. And that's why I called everybody here so they could see the slides.
Yes, he called me early this morning.
Yeah. So, with these slides, if they're anything like the other ones, they're going to be able to show us the various different camera angles of the movements that went on in the camp that night, you know, in the so-called sighting.
So-called? These slides are a complete scientific record.
I'm sure they are, yeah. But they also might give us a good picture of how Mardosian was killed.
Not to mention my balloon artistry.
And what does that mean?
You mean he doesn't know? He didn't know the whole thing was staged?
It was his wife's idea. She paid me. Still, we have met, yes.
It was a hoax? Why, Burke, you phony old Dickens, you.
Carl, you have spent years pursuing this line of research. You've compromised your whole life's work.
I have seen them. They are out there. I have made contact. But the scientific community needed proof. And proof takes sitting out on the desert. Proof takes money. Cheryl thought that with the money from the Copernican Award, we could make things happen. They're here, I swear it. They're here. They're here.
Fine. Oh, yeah, I know. I'm sure they are. They're here. I tell you what, why don't we just take a look at these slides, all right?
You're not going to see anything on these slides. Mardosian's dead. And now with Carl and his wife pulling that fraud, well, it's down to you and me for the Copernican Award.
Shut up, Stuart.
May the best man win.
Hold it. Hold it a minute.
Do you see something?
That's Mardosian, isn't it? Yeah, I know it's very hard to make out because it's blurry, but...
It's Mardosian.
Now, a couple of slides back, there was something in the corner. That's it. Look at that. That hand. Now, it's got a wire, and it's touching it to his ankle. Now, the autopsy showed that Mardosian had the same identical burn on his ankle. Now, I will bet you that the other end of that wire leads to a generator.
Electric shock caused Mardosian's heart attack. It's a man's hand.
Yeah, well, it's kind of hard to tell.
No, it's a man's hand.
We know for sure that it's a class ring, and I think all we have to do is just blow it up a little bit to tell which one it is. Why don't you tell us what school he went to, Glick? Save us the trouble of blowing that up.
Hold it! Hold it! You had to keep digging and digging, didn't you? I should have killed you the first time you came up here.
So that was you that was shooting at me from behind those rocks?
Of course it was me. Who'd you think it was? I wanted to make sure that you didn't buy that heart attack. I knew you would investigate. I knew you'd find out it was a hoax. After that, there should have been only one answer. That Burke staged the whole thing to kill Mardosian over his wife.
It might have been a very good reason, but tell me something. Why did you kill him?
Because I was sick and tired of being in his shadow. That's why I killed him. You know what a difference that award would make for the rest of my life? Do you?
So, you got tired of being the protege, huh? That's right, and you couldn't wait for him to retire.
They would have gone on forever. Retire. I had the whole thing figured out perfectly. Perfectly. Except the question mark was that film. It was a 1,000,000-to-1 shot, but I had to figure out what was on that film. I had to find out for myself. Oh, the angles. The cameras couldn't have possibly recorded those angles.
That's right. See, I have a little confession to make. I told my associate, Murray, to doctor up a couple of those slides, and we paid off the lab boys to slip them in with Burke's badge.
How did you know?
You see, I really didn't know, but I had to take a chance. You see, I knew you all wore the same college class rings, but I took a 50-50 chance, used a man's hand. I went fishing, Glick, and you took the bait.
Under other circumstances, I would tip my hat to you.
What are you going to do to us?
Take at least a day or so, if you're lucky, to get out of this desert. By then I'll be in Mexico. Better yet,
No, please.
you, come with me.
No?
Come on.
Oh.
listen, now, if I'm to get this thing down on the ground, I'm certainly gonna need it's a big cliff. It's coming quick.
How far off the ground are we?
1,000 feet, maybe.
If we hit the cliff, the balloon's frayed, so we drop like a stone. Throw off the ballast.
Step ballast.
Turn up the burner.
Burner.
We're close to the cliff.
We're about 20 feet. Well, it's 15. Oh, we made it. So how bad is that?
I have to be all right. I won't give him the satisfaction of dying.
Vive la France.
Vive le Houston.
Yeah.
There's the Big Dipper. And the Little Dipper. There's Capricorn. And if you look, you can almost see the stinger on Scorpio's tail.
Murray, you don't need a telescope to appreciate the stars. There's just something about the stars. I don't know, something to dream on.
Yeah, something to wish on. CJ, you see that brightest star right up there? They call that the wishing star.
Houston, if you could make a wish, what would it be?
Well, I think I'd wish that I knew for certain what that was following me down the road the other night.
Oh, Houston, we've been all through that. I mean, those police helicopter patrols go up and down that road all the time.
CJ, this was not a police helicopter. I mean, they make noise, and this thing didn't make a sound. CJ, I saw things. I mean, those hands reaching out for me, and the men, the little tiny men.
That bad air could have been the lights of an oncoming car, especially in your condition.
Face it, CJ. Houston had a close encounter. ET, UFOs, all that stuff. Consider yourself lucky, cowboy. You could have been beamed aboard an alien spacecraft. What would you have done then?
Phoned home.
Celebrities, movie stars, business people. All here for the christening of the largest supertanker ever launched here in the United States. And it's one of quite an innovative design, too. And all here waiting for the man who made all of this possible. International billionaire Niccolo Gambaccini. Some of the guests are arriving now. It's Karen Ann Douglas, the queen of American popular music, with her daughter Jennifer. Karen Ann, can you talk with us for just a moment?
Hi, how are you?
I'm just fine, thank you. I'm wondering, I just heard that your latest album went platinum in just a couple of weeks. Anything to say about that?
Well, I'm very happy about it, and I'm so glad that everyone likes it.
Just one more question. Your name's been linked romantically with that of Mr. Gambaccini for many years now. Is there any truth to that?
What kind of question is that to ask? You people go around groping for interviews, and you ask us something stupid like that. Now get that mic out of my face before I shove it in your mouth.
That was Cody Wall, Karen Ann Douglas's agent, attorney, and goodwill ambassador. This looks like Mr. Gambaccini arriving right now. And I believe that's his daughter Serena with him. It looks as though they're having one of their internationally famous arguments right here on live television. Excuse me, Signorina Gambaccini, could I talk to you for just one moment?
Yes. Stai zitta, la gente qua.
Please, just one quick question.
Not now, sorry.
Morning. Say goodbye.
I'll see you in hell.
Dear. One of their internationally famous arguments. I wonder who this is. Excuse me, sir. Could you tell us who you are?
Nobody, man. Wildcat Callahan's name. I got $10 million invested
holding that big sucker. I want to see if she floats.
Oh, well, that was Wildcat Callahan. Looks like we're about to start.
Oh, my dear.
Volevo usare l'annata della sua nascita. You knew that, didn't you? Foolish games you play with me.
Warning you, Houston. Gutbuster don't want to be rode.
There's no way. Fact is, I'd just as soon forget the bet. And that's the truth.
Me too, just out of sheer human kindness.
Yeah, well, Bo, the last kind thing you ever did was run away from home. Now, I know what you fellas are doing. You're trying to get me to bump the bet from $5 to $10.
Kick the bet, me? You think I'm trying to do that?
Well, of course that's what you're doing, and you too.
I'm not that kind of person no more. Don't you know I've been born again?
But the trouble with you being born again, Lamar, is you came back as you. Yeah, let's take a look at this horse. So in other words, even though you're not trying to do it, it'd be perfectly all right if we did kick that bet from $5 to $10.
You're on.
Yeah, uh-huh.
You want to know who I am? I'm C.J. Parsons. That's me in the pickup. My place is about 5 miles down the road from Houston's. Actually, I've known Houston most of my life, or so it seems. But more about that later. Houston, I gotta talk to you.
Tell me about it later, CJ. I'm about to ride me a horse.
You gonna put your body on that?
Well, that's my plan.
What's the bet? I'll take half.
How little faith y'all have in me, you know? I mean, I got away with animals.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Turn him out.
Houston, you all right?
That is a mean horse. CJ, next time you got something to tell me, please don't take no for an answer.
Hey, if you want to go for 15, the horse is willing.
Smile, good buddy.
CJ, the first sign of insanity is a laughing loser. Oh,
Did that hurt?
No. No.
He's gonna get us for this.
Yeah, I know.
Houston was all city, all state, all everything when he was a kid. He quarterbacked Rice in the Cotton Bowl the year they beat SMU by throwing a 60-yard touchdown bomb in the last 6 seconds. And then he really stuck it to him by running the ball in himself for the conversion. Houston's a Texan through and through, and most of his friends and business associates are Texans, including me. About the only time I can remember not being around was when I went up to Harvard Law School. But then I came back, paid my dues in his conglomerate for a while, and ended up pretty much helping him to run his empire. And it's an empire that might never have existed, except for the fact that he had a little problem with his daddy. Something about wanting to make it on his own. So, he packed up and left the Lone Star State and came to the State of the Stars. runs his empire from a penthouse office that sits on top of a building he built in downtown Los Angeles. The business includes everything from diamond mines to soybean futures, a couple little oil companies here and there, and one more. One of the businesses Houston is in is private investigation. Actually, it's not so much a business as it is a hobby. And like everything else in the world that Houston does, like the fortune cookie said, he does his hobby very, very well. Oh, Houston, by the way, while you were climbing that dumb mountain, somebody killed Niccolo Gambaccini.
Kill?
And killed is polite, murder is more accurate.
Well, when and how?
Well, down at the shipyard, somebody put a couple of ounces of nitroglycerin in his champagne.
Well, I barely knew the man.
How well did you know the daughter?
Well, I owned a few shares once.
That well, huh?
Look, CJ, we shared a couple kisses, but it was certainly nothing to tell your mama about.
Well, now, Houston, if you and I shared a couple of kisses, I can guarantee you I'd never tell my mama about it. I tell a few of my best friends, but never my mama.
Look, CJ, I want you to drop everything and get me one of those mechanical bucking Broncos, and I want it here in a couple hours. Well, I'm out $10 and I want it back.
Houston, you want to spend a couple of $1,000 on a mechanical horse to make back $10?
That's the principle of the thing, CJ. Have them put it right here.
Okay, Houston, but meanwhile, before I do that, you've got another problem. The front office called this morning, and Ms. Gambaccini is upstairs with her fuse lit. Now, she's been there for hours, and she's not going to leave until she talks to you. Better cock your pistols.
Don't you worry about a thing, darling, because I'm going to be my own sweet Texas self, and I'm going to charm the socks off her. If that doesn't work, I'll think something else. I mean, think about it, CJ. The poor girl's probably in a state of shock. I mean, she's probably been crying all night.
Coffee. I'm leaving, that's it.
Would you like some coffee?
No, nothing. No, nothing. I'm leaving. Houston. Amore, come sta?
Look, I'm real sorry about your dad. If there's anything I can do, you be sure and let me know. Turn off your motor. Look, I didn't know your father very well, but he was alive yesterday, so one of us ought to show a little respect here.
You're so Texan.
Yes, I am.
It's charming.
Yes, he is.
Remember, Antibes, the Hotel du Cap? Of course, you were much more affectionate then.
Yeah, well, that was then, Serena.
Do you live or work here?
Sometimes both.
Very nice. Very nice. But, you know, I'm not sure whether there's a man with a lot of little boy in him here or the other way around.
Okay, sweet thing. I've got all day, so if you want to shoot the breeze, that's fine with me. Because I'm not the one that's in trouble here.
Who said I was in trouble?
I did.
Is this yours?
Yep.
It's cute. I am told you're the best private investigator around. I might want to hire you. Grazie. There's a chance the police will arrest me for the murder of my father. And just for the record, I didn't do it.
Say it again.
I did not kill him.
Yeah, it sounded better the second time round. I think it was the way you hit the word not. Got that kind of hurt, self-righteous look in your eye.
You must believe me.
Serena, my ears are trained not to believe much you say.
Okay, all right. So I've lied to you before. And probably I will lie to you again. But not this time. I did not kill him. This one time you must believe me.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's go inside.
Amore. Amore, you don't believe me, do you? My father made people crawl. He would dangle diamonds in front of women's faces so that they would do whatever he wanted them to. Things that would haunt them for the rest of their lives. He was disgusting. I hated him, and he knew I hated him.
Well, you didn't hate your inheritance.
I don't have one. My trust fund, and that's all. Do you know what he did? He put a clause in his will that if he should die in any way other than natural causes, I mean, in an accident or in any questionable way, his estate automatically goes into long-term probate. I would have to wait 10 years before I see a penny. Now tell me, why would I kill him, eh? Why?
You know I'll check this out, don't you?
Houston, I would have to wait years before I inherit anything, darling. I'm not a fool. All I'd have to do is wait until he died naturally.
Naturally.
The man was crazy. Pazzo. He made everybody around him crazy.
Lady Earth is the insane asylum of the universe. Maybe that's why UFOs don't want to land here. Look, have you got a bodyguard?
Not with me in Rome. Besides, they're boring.
You know anyone who'd want to see you dead?
What are you saying?
Well, I'm just asking questions. See, that's how I know I'm a detective.
Will you help me?
Serena, I will help you in every way I can. But you better be telling me the truth or I'm going to dance all over you.
I'll give you anything.
Anything?
Yes, anything.
Well, I already have all the money I want, and besides, you can only wear one pair of boots at a time, so we'll think of something else. Come on. CJ, we're taking Ms. Gambaccini on as client.
Are we? What a nice surprise. Not now, Mary.
Thank you, darling. You know, things can be like old time if you want.
Yeah, well, I'm going to try and find out who killed your father. I'm not sure that's going to help much, but that's what we're going to do. Now, where are you staying?
Century Plaza.
Well, I'll tell you what. On your way back over there, why don't you stop by Children's Hospital? Because you just might want to build a wing over there right next to mine when this is all over. I knew we'd think something.
Yes, of course. Ciao, darling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. First 5 minutes on the case, Serena Gambaccini in my office. I saw a man across the street on the roof with what looked like a rifle wrapped in cloth. Probably not too young, but his reflexes were good when he ducked behind cover when he thought I was looking. Now, the question is, was he out to kill Serena, or was he out to kill me? Answer. Me.
Some people don't like Houston a lot, but if someone's out to kill him, they better be darn sure they get the job done. Because he doesn't like it too much when someone tries to cancel his vote the hard way. Other people like Houston a lot. Some of us like him a lot more than a lot. But that's another story.
Matt, I have important papers. You must see them.
Latest quotes from New York and Zurich. I need answers on 2 by tonight.
Mrs. Harrington said you might look in on her fundraiser, and your tailor said you should come in for a measurement.
Hold it. Don't move. I've got about 400 things that need signing right now.
Later, Murray. I just took on the Gambaccini case. You probably heard about it yesterday?
I heard. I'm very sympathetic. If you and CJ want to break this company playing detective, that's up to you. But right now, Houston, we have got business to do. This stack just bought this stack, and in between, you'll notice there's nothing.
Yeah, we'll just have to deal with all this later, Murray, except for that one. I want you to call London, tell them to buy. If they ask how much, you tell them till I go broke or I own the company. Heard Howard Hughes say that once. Oh, thank you, Murray.
You ready for some baby talk?
You betcha. Hello, baby. She loves me. How do you spell Gambaccini?
Gambaccini. 2 C's, 1 N.
CJ, won't you do this for me, all right? Okay, down to business. Now, 1, I want to know all about his will. 2, I want to know who all was at the ship's christening, who all was supposed to be there and didn't show up, and where they've been since then. 3, I want to know where the nitro came from and who supplied the champagne that blew up. Somebody slipped him a bad year.
Just joking, baby. 4.
4, I want to know all about Mr. Gambaccini's financial deals, who wins, who loses, all that kind of stuff. And I want to know exactly how much that man was worth.
Gambaccini, worth.
5, call my tailor. He ruined my suit. Keep on working, see what you come up with. I'll be down at the boat.
Sure wish I could go with you.
I wish you could, too.
Baby makes 3.
Well, look, I'll tell you what. Now, come on, I'll talk to you later. Bye now, girls. Slim, one of these days you're gonna go that extra ½ inch and I'm gonna be needing new kneecaps.
No way. The kid's got it under control all the time. Now, I just finished turbocharging her. She's a beauty, huh?
Yeah. You know, sometimes I wonder if I'm buying these things for me or for you.
Oh, just don't wreck this one, will ya? Fender and Body Works out of my line.
Not completely.
Houston, are we ever going back?
You still miss Texas?
But not as much. I started surfing.
They do have a big ocean here.
Some say bigger than the whole state of Texas.
Yeah, well, you know how they exaggerate out here.
When Houston first got to L.A., he met Vince Novelli, Lieutenant Vince Novelli. LAPD, they had a few go-arounds in the beginning, but before long, he became one of Houston's best friends.
Millionaire killed in champagne explosion. Film at 11.
You say, Ace? No one's left to Gambaccini after that?
Shoelaces?
1 shoelace. Whom are you representing?
Whom? Well, whom I'm representing is Serena Gambaccini. That's whom.
It's too bad. Hey, there's an echo in here.
What?
I said there's an echo in here.
I can't hear you, Vince. There's an echo in here.
You really felt you had to say that, huh?
I'm weak, Vince. Come on, I'll make it up. Someone tried to take a shot at me today.
Anybody I know?
Probably not. He was an amateur. I found a matchbook with the matches pulled off the left-hand side, so whoever he was left-handed.
Well, maybe he was a professional acting like an amateur, tried to throw you off.
No, he was an amateur. If he was a pro, I'd be dead.
He was an amateur.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Why can't I do this?
I don't know, Vince. Maybe you need glasses.
You know, when you're shot at, you're supposed to let the law know, and that's like a given.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Vince, so now you're informed.
Think it's got anything to do with Gambaccini?
Well, it does seem awful coincidental at the minute Serena takes me on the case, someone takes a pot shot at me.
Well, yeah, on the other hand, you only have 200 or 300 ex-cons that have grudges going with you, not to mention a few husbands. You know, could be it's not related.
Well, it could be that it is.
Well, you never know.
Look, Vince, when you're standing on Fifth Avenue on St. Patrick's Day, I don't believe you have a right to be surprised if the parade passed by.
Wish I had said that.
So do I.
Including Serena, I've cut 4 suspects out of the herd because they all had 2 things in common. They all invested in the ship and they were all at the christening. Karen Ann Douglas. She invested in the ship and she's been Gambaccini's mistress for the last couple of years now.
Who's that with her?
That's Jennifer, her daughter. Karen Ann's a one and only.
Cody Wall. One of the great human beings of our time.
He invested too. But not only is he Karen Ann's agent as well as her lawyer, she is his only client.
Next.
Wildcat Callahan's name. I got $10 million.
Wildcat? Is he in L.A.?
Yep. And he invested too. Fact is, Houston, they all had a piece of the action. It's going to take a while to figure out how many billions the billionaire had. But I can tell you this much. He had it spread from here to Bangkok. I'll work on it.
Vince, tell me something I don't know about Gambaccini.
Well, he was having an affair with a young mamselle in Paris a couple of weeks ago.
That's news?
Not the affair, maybe, but something was getting messy about it because Gambaccini made videotapes of the 2 of them together, only the lady didn't know about it.
Yeah, he's a real nice dude.
One of the all-time best. So I figure whoever the lady is, she's a prime suspect. She wants to take back or revenge or something.
Well, you guys figure all this out this morning? You're moving pretty fast on this thing.
Well, I'm going to tell you something, Ace. If we don't get something concrete real soon, I'm in big trouble. I can only hold these people for 48 hours. Then they're going to split to the 4 winds. You bet I'm moving fast.
Yeah, well...
You know, we're figuring your client is the #1 suspect, don't you?
Oh, Vince, that's because you guys don't have any imagination.
No, of course not. We don't have any imagination. Do you know that she was about to be cut out of her father's billion-dollar will completely?
No.
Did you know she tried to kill him in Paris a couple of weeks ago before he could change it? When the French police are trying to extradite her for attempted murder?
No.
Well, did you know she was supposed to be standing at his side during the christening and she left a snappy 30 seconds before he blew himself into the promised land?
No.
No, huh? And we don't have any imaginations. If you were about to be cut out of a billion-dollar will and put nitroglycerin in a bottle that was about to be smashed against the ship, where would you be?
Philadelphia.
At least.
Notice how I know when to keep my mouth shut?
Hi, Vince. Can I do something for you?
Just my car.
Houston's all cowboy. And where you find cowboys, you also find Indians. This one's called Charlie Eagle. Houston imported him from Texas, along with the rest of us. Now, legend has it, his great-granddaddy scalped Houston's great-granddaddy. They now have a different arrangement.
How you doing, Chief?
Hey, big time, what's up?
Well, I'm working on the Gambaccini killing. Look, would you scout around and see if anybody on the street's got anything for sale on it?
All right. Anything else?
As a matter of fact, yes. Someone took a shot at me today. And what I'd like you to do is close up the stand and jump in your cab. Put the word out on the street. I want to know who wants me dead and why.
Okay. Check you later.
You got it.
Someone tried to kill him? Paranoid, you know what I mean? He thinks everybody's trying to kill him.
Nice car, Mr. Houston.
Thanks, Tim. Nice to see you again.
How'd you like going this way?
Well, only if it's housebroken.
Daddy?
Yeah.
Daddy, look at this. It's Houston.
Hey, Houston. You horse thief, what are you doing?
How you doing?
All right. Now, you look good.
Yeah, I saw your wheels outside. Now, why didn't you let me know you were in town?
Because I was only going to be here long enough to have a cup of coffee. You know my daughter Laurie, don't you?
Well, look at you.
Hi, Houston. Long time.
Well, it's been a couple years anyway.
Nice, yeah.
Laurie's in here for a birthday party tomorrow night. We really tie one on then, huh? Who'd ever thought I'd ever have a daughter that pretty?
Well, you've been away to school, haven't you?
Yes, I've been back east. I'd like you to meet my fiancé, Preston Amory. This is Houston.
How you doing? Look, keep your seat.
Kids are going to announce their engagement tomorrow night back home at her birthday party there. But We had to move it out here. Some policeman thinks I'm a suspect. Got to stay in town for a couple of days. So I come down here to look around, see if I can find a room big enough to have a party in, but they ain't got one. Honey, I'm just gonna call that friend of mine. He got a boat big enough. We can have 2 parties on if we want. Hope you don't get seasick.
Oh, no, sir, I don't. Hey, look, I want to wish you both the best of luck.
Thank you very much, Houston.
You know, Preston there, he went to Yale. Say something in Yale, boy.
He's kind of shy.
Yeah, well, it's all right, as long as he got the degree. Buy you a little shooter?
Well, I'll tell you, I'll have to take a rain check. But I do need to talk to you later about your friend Gambaccini. I think you're about the only one who will give me some straight talk about the man.
I'll give your secretary a call. Tell her where I'm staying when I get located.
Good enough. Why don't you leave some tequila for the rest of us? Huh?
No, I ain't gonna do it. Good day.
Bye-bye.
Boy, he's a fine fellow, that.
I know, God, it's been such a long time.
I'm looking for Karen Ann Douglas.
Who are you?
Her hairdresser.
Dressing room 1 with the star on it.
Thanks a lot.
You think that I killed him? That I put nitroglycerin in that bottle? I don't even know how to spell nitroglycerin.
Knowing you could have paid someone to do it.
Ugly little pygmy.
I don't like being called names. Who the hell are you? Gene Autry?
I think you're about ready to leave. So does she.
We're not through yet, superstar.
Yes, you are.
If you don't mind, I'll let myself out.
You all right?
Well, you're not the hotel manager. Not in $400 boots.
Oh, I'm sorry. My name's Matt Houston. I'm a friend of Serena.
The private investigator. She told me about you.
What was going on with him?
Oh, nothing. Just the normal client-agent relationship.
Well, look, I gotta ask you a pretty tough question. Now, if it's none of my business, I'd appreciate you telling me that rather than lie, all right?
Yes, I was Gambaccini's mistress. He owned me. He wanted to own everything. Like this champagne. Have you ever heard of the Chateau de Ville champagne?
Oh, yes, I have. It's a small, exclusive vintner believed to be one of the 2 best, but I didn't know it was available anymore. Why?
Gambaccini wanted to own all the Chateau champagne. Now, how do you think he went about doing that?
Probably by forcing the vintner out of business and then buying the estate at a bargain price, given the pieces of information I've been getting.
That's exactly what he did. And now every year, all the champagne has his name on it.
That's a pretty girl. That's your kid sister?
Kid daughter. You know, Gambaccini kept a record of every bottle corked.
Well, he knew his wines.
So do you. He also kept a record of every bottle he ever gave to anyone. It's sort of ironic. He was gonna christen his ship with his champagne, and instead it christened him.
Ready, Miss Douglas?
Now, why do I get the impression that things weren't perfect in paradise between you 2?
Don't know when I've been so blue. Don't know what's come over you. You found someone new. And don't it make my brown eyes blue?
Hold it, Miss Douglas. Guys, you're supposed to go to Blue on bar 12.
Anyway, he was a pig. He used a hidden camera to make tapes of all the women he seduced. I'm the star of one of his more elaborate productions.
Well, that's just great. I mean, that's real great. So you're just like the champagne, right? He wanted you all to himself, and the tapes were his guarantee. Did you really have to stay with him?
You think nobody cares what anyone does in bed anymore? That depends on who or what you're in bed with, doesn't it? I have a career. I'm America's sweetheart. If that tape gets out, I'm finished.
I hope you realize what you're telling me makes you a prime candidate for killing him.
Hardly. He told me that if anything happened to him, anything, that tape would be released within 48 hours.
You think he'd do that?
Bet your sweet astroturf he would.
Okay, once more from the top.
I didn't mean to treat you bad. Didn't know just what I had. But honey, now I do. And don't it make my brown eyes, don't it make my brown eyes, don't it make my brown eyes blue?
Okay. Take 10, everybody.
That's a nice song.
Nice man.
Thank you. So tell me, where's the tape now?
You tell me. I've got less than 48 hours to find it. If I don't, no more songs, goodbye Karen Ann Douglas. With him alive, those tapes were safe. I hated him, but I didn't kill him.
You know, that's what Serena said. The exact same words. And so far, we got one man murdered and nobody killed him.
To nobody.
Hey, Vince.
Hey, looks like we're plowing the same field.
Yeah, and you're 10 steps behind the horse.
Well, I better step in something because the 24 hours is going fast and I still got nothing to hold anybody on.
Yeah, well, if you're going inside to talk to the lady friend, she didn't do it.
How do you know?
She just told me.
You did it again.
Okay, so I was wrong. Somebody is trying to kill you.
Well, thanks a lot.
Don't mention it.
Look, Charlie, I want you to get another message out on the street. Someone's out to get me, all right? I want you to let them know that now I'm after them. I ain't fond of being shot at, and I hate having my cars busted up. Now, you spread that around. You hearing me?
I am Indian. I am not deaf.
Yeah. Well, besides that, he ruined my boots.
Enjoy your swim?
Going to change.
Your clothes or your attitude?
Did Baby get a fix on Gambaccini's bank account?
$2,456 with 9 zeros lira after it.
Yeah.
Well, the 2,456 I can understand, but what do all those little O's mean in paycheck money?
$2 billion, Houston. And it all goes to Serena. You get the feeling you've been had there, pal?
Does seem possible.
Possible? Houston, of course she did it. She's going to inherit $2 billion.
Well, in 10 years, maybe, after probate, he had a clause in his will holding up all the money if he was murdered.
He did? Then she didn't do it.
Yeah, maybe. What's the latest police report?
Well, somebody ripped off Gambaccini's hotel room this morning. What do you think they were looking for?
Well, I know if I were Karen Douglas, I know what I'd be looking for. And that's a videotape. What about the nitro?
Not a thing.
Well, that's just great. That's real fine. Come on, let's go.
Where are we going?
To Gambaccini's funeral.
I'm not dressed.
You won't mind. Oh, yeah, right. Well, I'll tell you what, girls. I'll catch you later, all right? Thank you.
Houston figures if all your suspects are in one basket, you better watch that basket. Now, Serena inherits $2 billion only if he dies a natural death. So she wouldn't want to kill him. Karen Ann's career goes down the old tubes if he dies, so she wouldn't want to kill him. Karen's Cody's only client, and if she falls, he falls. So he wouldn't want to kill him. And Wildcat invested a fortune in Gambaccini, so he wouldn't want to kill him. So, Houston's problem is, no one in the basket figured to kill Gambaccini. That's Houston's problem. My problem is, sometimes I can't figure how Houston figures. Sounds like a party.
Or a celebration.
For a murder?
Of course, if you really want to give it a little pep, a little of that Mexican blue juice in there, that'll make that sucker sit up and talk.
To your very bad health.
My bad health. Live forever, don't you know nothing?
Best looking group of ladies you ever brought by, Taffy.
It should be. I think most of them in first class.
It's the way it's gonna be from now on. First class. Hey, Jack, why don't you move around and see that everybody's got something they want? Come on, let's go for a swim.
CJ, why don't you look around and see what you can pick up?
Love to.
I was talking about information.
So was I.
Get out.
Go turn into a pumpkin.
What the hell are you doing here?
Trying to have a little fun. Why live a lie?
You mean like the one you did at the funeral? I mean, you come into my office pleading for help, crying about how innocent you are. Then I find out you tried to knock off your old man in Paris a couple of weeks ago because he was about to cut you out of his will.
I didn't kill him.
Didn't you? You see, if he cuts you out, you wouldn't get a dime. Now, you may have to wait 10 years, but you still get $2 billion. Now, why don't you tell me again how you didn't kill him?
I didn't kill him!
Yeah, somehow the magic's gone out of the way you say that.
I needed every edge I could get, darling.
I see. And I'm your edge?
Amore, Houston, don't abandon me now. You're the only one I have left.
Then, lady, you better get yourself out of here. Because the way I feel about you right now, they could get you for impersonating a human, and I don't believe I'd argue it.
What the hell are you doing?
Getting your attention.
I don't remember sending you an invitation.
Well, that makes us even. I don't remember getting one.
Do I know you?
Shut up, stupid. So I'm not broken up that he's dead. So what? They don't send you to jail for having a good time.
No, but you can go to jail for blackmail. See, I figure you know where the tape is that Gambaccini made of Karen. And I figure you plan to use it to keep her under your heel the same way he did.
I don't know anything about any tape, so stop pushing me around.
Well, that's not pushing you. This is pushing you. See the difference? You really that tall, or am I standing in a hole? I was hoping you wouldn't say that.
He's not welcome here, reject. Maybe you can explain it to him.
Look, maybe the two of us could just talk this thing over real friendly-like.
Sorry you gotta be leaving, Houston. Maybe next time.
Oh, well, I didn't want to wear out my welcome anyway. Look, dummy, next time you hit me, use the other hand. I sleep on this side. Can I buy you a drink?
No.
How about dinner?
No.
Nachos and a nightcap at my place?
Come on, Hunter, boy.
Are you sure you can't talk about this thing?
No, I don't like your face.
Well, me neither. It's a terrible face.
I think your nose should be moved.
Oh, well, I wouldn't go quite that far.
I would.
Okay, dummy. Let's see if your 300 pounds can stop a 45. Come on, I'm begging you.
Houston, what's going on?
Get in the car, CJ. This dummy just smartened up. Bang!
Houston, this car does not start.
Don't do this to me.
I'm not doing anything to you.
Start the car.
I can't, it's flooded.
Well, then floor it.
It is floored.
CJ, do you want to die?
Not particularly, Houston.
Then turn on the key.
It's Diamond Dead, Pair of Hearts, Gilly's Gal, Vanilla Skate, and Johnny Vitaro on the outside. Pair of Hearts and Vanilla Skate, Johnny Vitaro on the outside as they come around the clubhouse turn. Here they come with Vanilla Skate and Johnny Vitaro. Diamond Edge also challenging on the far outside. Going to the whip now is Howie Portenson, and he's coming up on the outside in the three-quarters in 132 and change. Down the stretch they come a 16th of a mile to go. Vanilla Skate on the inside. Johnny Vitaro on
We're already down about 20,000.
And Vanilla Skate
It's good
is
to
the
see you
winner
again.
by a head. It appears
30,000.
it was Johnny Vitaro
Come on.
second, and Pair of Hearts
Let me listen to you. Never bet on a horse if he ain't got a jockey on his back, much less own one.
Bye, Daddy.
Where you going?
Press and I are going dancing.
Yeah, dance. Yeah, wouldn't you like to say, old boy, if you ain't dance?
Yeah, you really got something special there, Wildcat. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, thank you. I do. I just don't want that boy hurting her. Don't want anybody hurting her for that matter.
Well, I don't blame you.
Yeah. Oh, I know he's not perfect, but she loves him. But Yale, oh, you know, I never knew a billionaire who ever went to college. Known a few millionaires who were well fixed, had a good education, but I've never known a billionaire. You want some bourbon?
Well, why not? Oh, boy. Let me tell you about Gambaccini.
Go ahead. So you have to find out who switched the private bottle of champagne for the one with the nitro in it, huh?
That and who had something to gain by having him dead.
That lets me out. Boy, when he blew himself to buffalo chips, he blew me right out of $10 million I had invested in that boat of his.
Well, what about the insurance?
The insurance might cover the hull, but the boat goes into his estate. It could take 10 years to probate that estate. Meanwhile, you got 250,000 tons sitting there rusting up. Any way you look at it, I blew $10 million. I got a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but ain't nobody can afford to lose $10 million.
This his?
Yeah. He gave a bottle of that to everybody he was doing business with. Can you believe it? A billionaire who owns a winery giving it away one bottle at a time.
Well, let's pop it and drink to his health.
Oh, no. No. The way I figure, that's a $10 million bottle of bubbly right there. And when I pop it, it's going to be for something special, like tomorrow night at Laurie's birthday party. You be there. We'll pop it, boy.
I'm going to be there if I can, Wildcat, but right now I'm so lost I can't find my way out with radar. I mean, the truth is the man was pure skunk. I mean, everybody hated him. The only one who had good reason to kill him is my client. I just don't know. You got any ideas?
Me? Yeah, let's punt.
That's the wrong sport.
Yeah, well, my horses wouldn't know the difference. Let's get out of here.
Hey, don't tell me you're one of those people who leaves the races early just to get a jump on the traffic.
You don't think so, what? What's he up to?
Are you all right?
Yeah. Oh, that hurt. Did you get a look at him?
Yeah, I saw him. I know him, too.
Perce Whiteley.
He works for you, Wildcat.
Yes, he does. All right, that's enough. Any more bandages and I'll look like a darn mummy.
Well, what? You got shot in the shoulder? He'll live.
Yeah, back home we'd call it a flesh wound.
Okay, you can take care of the bill when you leave.
Daddy, are you okay?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh.
I'm all right, honey. I do more damage than this shaving of a morning.
Need a statement, Wildcat.
Well, I got shot.
I was looking for something a little more definite than that. Do you know any reason why Perce Whiteley would try and kill Houston?
Perce did this?
I'm afraid he did, honey.
Why?
I have no idea. He's never said a bad word against Houston in his life. I'll swear to it. I mean, ever. I didn't even know he was in town.
I can't believe that Perce Whiteley would do something like this. I mean, I've known him my entire life. He's a sweetheart.
What's Whiteley do for you?
He's kind of a troubleshooter. Looks after the wells, supplies, equipment. A little of this and that.
Is he in debt? Does he need money?
No. In fact, the answer to everything is no.
Daddy, listen. I think that we better cancel my birthday party tomorrow.
Oh, no, honey. That's got nothing to do with this. In fact, we all need a little relaxation, let down a little bit. And you're invited. No need for you to bring any presents or anything like that. Just maybe an automobile and a fur or two. Yeah.
Hang back.
Why?
We need to talk.
I'll see you tomorrow night. You rest up, you hear?
Yeah, I got the perfect cure. You know what I mean?
What do you say we eat and talk? Well, how about Mexican?
How about Chinese?
Italian is usually the compromise when Vince and Houston argue about food. And according to Houston, the best Italian food in town is served at Mama Novelli's. She's exactly who she sounds like she is. Lieutenant Vince Novelli's mama. And she makes the biggest, the bestest trompe on your tongue, tear out your tummy pizza in L.A.
I hate to say this, Ace, but it did ever occur to you that maybe Wildcat put this guy Whiteley up to trying to kill you?
You're crazy. Wildcat's been more of a father to me than my old man. Besides, why hire a killer that works for you?
What's the matter with the cannelloni?
Oh, cannolis are just fine.
Que cannoli? Cannoli's a cake. Why didn't you eat it?
We just haven't gotten there yet.
Hey, come on, get there if you figliolo?
Mama, we're talking.
Senti, if God wanted you to talk while you ate, he'd have put your tongue in your ear.
We better eat.
I'm eating, but I still think Wildcat could be in on this thing.
Vince, he just took a bullet that was meant for me.
Well, maybe he and Whiteley planned it that way. He only took a nick in the shoulder.
Vince, sometimes I wonder about you. Now, unless we're talking about Annie Oakley here, it'd have to be the greatest piece of shooting ever done. 2 inches down, and Wildcat gets it right in the heart.
Maybe you're right.
Maybe?
Hey, put some Parmigiano. It'll taste better.
Oh, really? No, thanks.
Mama!
You got a girlfriend?
Mama, we're talking business.
Hey, so am I. He's got nobody to feed him. He's gonna get skinny just like you. Guarda che roba.
Look, Vince, the whole point is if Wildcat wanted me dead, he sure wouldn't push me aside and take a bullet that was meant for me. Now, Whiteley's working independently, or he's working for someone other than Wildcat. Now, maybe somebody hired him to make it look like Wildcat was behind it, but the question is why?
Well, we got an all points out on Whiteley. With luck, we'll have him soon.
Well, you better shoot for more than luck, pal, because I'm getting awful tired of serving up second helpings myself to this fella.
So, what do you want for dessert?
I'm fine.
Dessert is sugar. It gives energy.
I got plenty of energy.
Oh, you have so much energy, eh? Why you have only 4 kids?
Because I only want 4 kids.
Hey, I speak to your wife. We want the 5.
Okay. Here's the way I see it. We got Gambaccini dead over here, Perce Whiteley trying to kill you over there. Guess who's in the middle?
Him?
So, if Whiteley's trying to kill you, maybe he killed Gambaccini.
Maybe.
Well, since it's less than 24 hours before all our suspects do an adios and go south, I suggest we make definites out of maybes before tomorrow night.
Fine, let's wrap it up by tomorrow night.
Hey, why didn't you think of that?
Look, really, I'm just fine.
Sure, another one that's fine. The two of you together, you couldn't beat up a waiter. Siete due grissini.
I'm only half asleep.
Well, I'm only half awake. How'd you get in here?
I told one of your secretaries you were expecting me. She didn't seem to mind.
Yeah, well, I teach square dancing 3 nights a week. So why don't you tell me why you're here? I got shot at a couple hours ago, and my sense of humor is a little on the ornery side.
I'm here because I feel really disgusted with myself for what happened at Codewolf's. And I would just like to make things right. So far, so good.
Serena. Never mind.
Nothing bothers Houston more than not knowing the answer to something. He couldn't figure out who wanted Gambaccini dead. He couldn't figure out why Perce Whiteley would come all the way from Texas to kill him. And he didn't know if it was connected to the murder of Niccolo Gambaccini or not. I knew this case, this one, was really getting to him. Then again, maybe it wasn't getting to him.
John.
Well, you still haven't found Perce Whiteley, and you still don't know who searched Gambaccini's rooms. No fingerprints, no nothing.
We're doing just as good as you are.
Thanks.
Don't mention it.
What?
Oh, not you, Vince. Look, any idea when the rooms were searched?
Just speculation. Couple of hours after he was killed.
Yeah, well, whoever he was, he wasn't wasting any time.
Fine. Who?
Boss, I did it! Jackpot! Jackpot!
Can I call you back? What'd you get?
Well, Mr. Perce Whiteley hasn't been seen in Houston for 2 days, and part of what he does for the oil company is handle explosives and he had access to nitroglycerin.
Thanks, CJ.
And I also checked around one of my old buddies who works down there, and he told me that some nitro had been reported missing. 2 whole ounces. Of course, they're trying to keep that quiet.
Oh, I don't blame him. You don't want that stuff sneaking out of the bar.
You don't. So that's it. He's tried to kill you at least 3 times. He was in town. He had the nitro. He did it. He killed Gambaccini. I want a raise.
Talk to Murray.
There goes my raise.
We still don't know where Whiteley is.
Easy, find him.
Yeah, but how?
Well, that's also easy. Advertise.
No, I'm talking really big here, you know, like huge. Something really tremendous.
Well, how about several bouquets of glads and mums just woven together? Now, that would be very grand.
You don't understand me, partner. I mean huge, you know, like Texas is huge.
You want a bouquet of flowers as big as Texas?
No, I want it big enough to look like it came from Texas. You know, the horseshoe. Yeah, with a big red Valentine heart in it that says, "Happy birthday to Lori from Houston." And I need it by tonight.
Well, sir, I'd have to hire at least 5 people just to help. And, well, thousands of flowers. Well, that's very expensive.
Now, let's do it. I tell you what, when you get finished, put it on the back of a truck and run it around town. And make sure it goes past every television station in the city, honking all the way. And deliver it to this address by 4 o'clock.
Sir, do you have an account with us?
I have some friends that do.
Hold it. Not now.
Now. Some guy just called from a florist shop to verify that you were you.
Mm-hmm. Tell him I'm me.
You ordered an 11-foot flowered horseshoe?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I want somebody to know exactly where I'm going to be this afternoon. Only this time, I'm going to be waiting for him.
Boy, have I got bad news for you.
Boy, do I need a drink.
I just blew $1,000 bribing Cody Wall's secretary.
I'll make it a double.
Now listen, Houston, Cody's not just your average 10% agent. He and Carrie Ann are partners. They split everything 50-50.
Fine. Now he's got 40% bigger reason not to kill Gambaccini.
In other words, I just spent $1,000 to prove he had no motive.
Not in other words, in the same words.
Nobody had a motive.
Yeah, including Perce Whiteley, but somebody hired him. The question is why.
Well, we know it isn't Karen Ann Cody or Wildcat.
Yeah, so the only one who's got a motive is my client, Serena. But I just don't think she did it. Did you get a hold of that news tape?
Just came in.
Why don't you put it up?
Goodbye, Daddy. I'll see you in hell.
Dear. That kid's got to be innocent. Would you pick a fight on television with someone you were just about to murder?
Well, I would if I needed a good reason to get far away from a full bottle of nitro. Now, there's that champagne again. It seems like every time I turn around, somebody's got a bottle of it.
Volevo usare l'annata della sua nascita.
What was that?
I can't make it out.
Would you play that back? Louder.
Volevo usare l'annata della sua nascita. You knew that, didn't you?
Who knew what? Gee, have baby translate that. The year she was born.
What does that mean?
I don't know yet. The year she was born. Who?
Boss, there's a surprise for you in the gym.
$10 is $10.
Thanks a lot. Houston! Houston, are you all right? Houston, are you all right? What are you doing down there on the floor?
Resting.
Now, you listen to this. Cody has just filed a legal action to prove that Karen Ann and Gambaccini cohabitated for years.
He'll win, too. And evidence will be spread across every newspaper on Earth.
But what the newspapers will not spread is that if our two lovebirds live together, then little old Karen Ann is entitled to half of Gambaccini's estate. $1 billion.
And she sure didn't have to worry about that tape destroying her career, now did she?
No, and it's certainly a good motive for murder, Houston, not to mention her 50-50 partner who gets half of the $1 billion.
Thanks a lot.
For what?
Because now everybody we thought wanted him alive has a good reason for wanting him dead.
Maybe they all killed him. Where are you going, Houston? Where are you going?
I'm going to Cody Wall, see if I can find those videotapes. I want to know who's on them. I also want to know if he happened to hire a man named Perce Whiteley. Charlie, follow me.
Hold it.
In a minute. CJ, have you had lunch yet?
No, but I'd love to.
Good. Murray, take CJ to lunch and put it on my tab.
To get to Cody Wall, Houston had to pass that big grunt he called Reject. Now that could ruin his whole day. I knew he'd think of something, but this time he knew it had to be something really big.
No, I don't want it covered up. I want it spread across every single newspaper in the country. Now you listen to me. I'm giving you the inside track on the story of the century. Yeah, that's right. Karen Douglas and Niccolo Gambaccini. That takes care of that.
Maybe.
What do you mean, maybe?
Everything except.
Except what? I'm an attorney, you know that. You're trespassing and threatening my life again. I have a witness right over here.
I'll give you 500 to 1 that the lady never testifies against me.
Oh, yeah? Well, you don't know Taffy.
No, Cody. You don't know Taffy.
I think I'll go buy a pair of shoes. Thanks for calling me a lady.
Hey, you! I own you! Okay. Beat me up. Go on. Punch me around.
Well, if I didn't think you'd enjoy it so much, I might be tempted. Now, why don't you tell me again how you didn't have reason to kill Gambaccini?
I didn't kill Gambaccini.
Fine, you hired Perce Whiteley to kill him.
Who's Perce Whiteley?
Still don't know who Perce Whiteley is?
Why don't you break everything in the whole house, huh? How about that one? That one's real expensive.
I know, that's why I saved that one for last. Now, what about Karen Ann? Maybe she hired Whiteley.
Go ask her.
I will. Now, you tell me about the other tapes.
What other tapes?
You remember this one? It's real expensive. Now, you better start talking to me or I'm going to break it over your head, which is not real expensive.
Okay. He had other tapes of a young girl he took to Paris. He got her stoned on angel dust and he made her... You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Gambaccini said he was going to show the tapes to her family. He said he was going to ruin her twice, once in Paris and once here. And that's all I know.
Who was the girl?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, then you tell me something else. You tell me why a man with more than $1 billion went around destroying people's lives. What the hell was in it for him?
It made him laugh, that's all. It was the only thing left that made him laugh.
Really make my skin crawl, you know that?
So I'm not the nicest person in the world. So what? When I get the money, I'll buy nice.
He didn't have that much.
Reject!
That's gonna stop me.
Oh, I brought it for you. Here. You see, I think you're gonna need it. I'm about to take a big gamble here, and I'm betting myself that you got a thick stomach and a glass jaw, and I'm about to find out. Swing, dummy. I think I just lost the bet.
Houston figured the answer to this riddle had to be in those elusive tapes. Who was on them and why? And he figured they had to be in Gambaccini's suite. Someone had ransacked it once trying to find them, so he figured maybe he'd take a shot at it.
How you doing, Houston? Pretty good. How's Monica? Oh, fine. How about the kids? Oh, wonderful. Good. I need a favor.
Uh-oh. Lieutenant Novelli's not gonna like it.
Oh, come on, Bob. Now, didn't I give you a sure thing on the Super Bowl?
Novelli won't mind.
Thank you, Bob.
Oh, think nothing of it. In fact, forget it.
here's everything you ever wanted to know about Perce Whiteley. Now, what do you want to know?
Everything.
Everything. Let's see. You sure you want everything?
Come on, Vance, read it.
Percival Albert Whiteley, age 43, no prior arrests, high school graduate, married at 18. Here's the picture. Plays semi-pro ball, good work record. Wife dies in 56, had a mental breakdown, recovers, joins the Army, good service record, honorable D, goes back to work for Wildcat.
How did his wife die?
Childbirth. He's out of the Army again, right? He goes back to work, good work record again, rises to foreman.
Stop.
I'm stopped. Come on, what are you thinking of? Speak.
You want a real shot in the dark here? I'll bet you his wife died on February 14th, 1956.
She died, that's right. How did you know? What do you know that I don't know? Hey! Oof.
I talked to the immigration people. You were right.
Yeah, I know.
What are we gonna do now?
We handle it.
When are you gonna change for Laurie's party?
About an hour. I want you to call Serena, Karen Ann, Cody, Wildcat. Tell them to get there early. Tell Vance I need that silver vest he gave me.
All right. You okay?
Yeah, I'll be all right. Just need a little time to think.
Daddy, it's beautiful.
A beautiful party for a beautiful girl.
Thank you, Daddy.
Oh, don't you know he paid $1 or $2 for this sucker? Ooh, it's
Come on,
a
you
big
guys,
boat.
move it. Will you move it? We only got a couple hours before the party starts. Jerry, set up the dance.
Boy,
Get those tables
that's
up
about
here.
the biggest present I'm gonna get.
Isn't it pretty? Yeah, you should have seen the horse they took it on. Wildcat! Hey, look at here. Hey, she just loved it. So did I. Yeah. Hey, let me see that suit. Ooh, that's the prettiest thing I ever saw on a fellow that wasn't in a casket.
Yeah, well, I just got it off the rack, $49.50.
Yeah, I believe you. Per button.
How's your arm doing?
Oh, it's good. I've had sunburns that hurt worse than that. There goes my whole life, boy. Ain't she something?
Yeah, she is. She is something.
Well, I'm about to pop the cork on a $10 million bottle of champagne. I'd like to have you join me.
Well, you pop it. I'll be right back. Excuse me, can I talk to you for a minute?
I want the tapes.
Got a little something for you. Want you to keep on singing.
Thanks, cowboy.
Ciao, caro. Come stai?
I want to talk to you for a minute. Got your father's tape of Karen Ann. It's for sale.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's for sale. You want to buy it?
Why should I want it?
Well, I don't know, but I'm about to find out the truth about you. How much would you pay for it?
$2 million?
How about 3?
Yes.
4? 5 million, maybe?
Darling, $1 billion is 1,000 million. 5 means nothing.
Why?
Why not?
No, you tell me why.
You don't leave me a graceful exit, eh?
I didn't mean to.
I hate her. I want to control her. I want to have her in my hands. I am my father's daughter.
Goodbye, Serena. As far as you're concerned, my number's changed.
Do you have the tape, Houston? Houston! Houston! Is it for sale?
Don't ask me. Ask her.
Karen, stop it! Stop it! It's proof that you live with him. We need it in court. It's worth $500 million.
Brava.
Damn it, Houston!
Nice little boat your friend's got here.
Yeah, boy, did you know he's got a pretty penny tied up in this sucker. Well, it's Laurie's birthday.
$1 million bubbles, they don't really taste that good, do they? You know I love her, don't you, Wildcat? I mean, you've been half father, all friend to me all my life. You know I'd never do anything to hurt you or your family.
I know that, boy.
Yeah, well, this isn't easy. It's taken me a while to figure out how to tell you, but you gotta understand why I have to say what I'm about to.
Say what?
I know what you did, and I know why you did it. I just don't want to be the one to hand you over to the police.
Well, you keep talking, but you ain't said nothing yet.
Wildcat, what are you doing to me? I said I know.
And I say you're on the dance floor. Now, you either ought to dance or get the hell off of it.
All right. You killed Gambaccini. You killed him because he drugged Laurie in Paris and went to bed with her. He showed you the videotape he made of the both of them, and he threatened to show it to her boyfriend. You took the nitro off Perce Whiteley's rig, you put it in a champagne bottle, and you blew him to kingdom come.
You telling me I'm the one that switched the bottles?
No, Wildcat, you're telling me. And that's the second time. Whoever said anything about the bottles being switched except you?
That's pretty slim proof, boy. You'd have to have an awful lot more than that.
Yeah. Laurie said she was back east. Immigration says she was in Paris.
Any law against taking a little trip to Paris?
Look at the bottle, Wildcat. It's got the year she was born on it, 1956. The same year that Gambaccini wanted to use at the christening.
So it's 56, so what?
He gave you a 71. Here's his record. Now, how could you have that bottle unless you were the one that switched him? It's the wrong year.
Now what have you got? Now what jury do you think is going to believe that I killed Gambaccini? Then took a shot that was meant for you, meant for the man that was trying to find the killer. What jury do you think would believe that?
You took the shot to save me. You didn't know it was Perce Whiteley because you didn't hire him. He was working all by himself. You asked me if I saw who it was because you were checking me out. Because in that split second, when you saw Perce Whiteley, you knew what he was doing. He was going to kill me. Now, you knew that he figured out the nitro was missing, and he knew that you hated Gambaccini. He knew that you were at the christening. Wildcat, you. Laura's not your natural daughter. She's Whiteley's.
You're right, of course, boy. Old Purser's wife died of childbirth. He went off the deep end, had a complete breakdown. There wasn't anybody around who could look after the little baby except his best friend, me. I was only going to look after her till he got out of the sanitarium, but it took a whole lot longer than either one of us had ever figured. The time he finally came home, I was the only father she knew. Neither one of us had the heart to hurt her. So we just both raised her and loved her all her life. Did you get that tape, boy?
Yes, I have it. You didn't have to kill him, Wildcat.
He was gonna show that tape all over the place. That would have killed Laurie. I couldn't stand that.
No, but you could have come to me. We could have worked something out. You didn't have to kill him. He's here, isn't he?
He is.
You could let him kill me.
Maybe I wish I could. Come on out, Perce. He knows everything.
No.
Oh! Flash away!
Y'all probably realize that when Houston sets his mind to something, he almost always gets it done. Well, you see, his horse made him mad, and losing that $10 bet made him even madder. So there were two things he absolutely had to do. Bust Gutbuster and get his $10 back. Like he said, it's the principle of the thing, CJ. Only in this case, he figured his principal could earn him a little interest. Oh, there is one other thing you probably now realize about Houston. Like most Texans, he overdoes things a bit for his friends.
CJ, are you absolutely positive, no mistake, certain that he still can't ride that horse?
Bo, I'm telling you, he bought a mechanical bucking machine to practice on, and he can only stay on it for 2 seconds.
What do you think? I don't know. I feel like a chicken hawk's about to dive on the hen house.
Lamar, would I bet my own $10 on anything that wasn't a sure thing?
Never have.
Never will.
What are you guys worried about? I'm telling you, it's a sure thing. No one can ride that horse.
Charlie, I just bought a new wetsuit, surfboard, roof racks, a couple pairs of flippers. I'm fresh out of jeans. I'm tapped out.
That's good. How about you?
I don't know anything about horses.
Terrific.
I don't want to blow $10 betting Houston he can't bust a Bronco.
Listen, this is not just any Bronco. It's this Bronco.
I don't know. What do you think, Vince?
I don't know anything about horses.
Guys, I'm Indian. Trust me. Do I know about horses or do I know about horses?
You really think he can't ride that horse?
It's like betting on Sitting Bull at Little Bighorn.
I don't know about Sitting Bull either.
Well, don't just sit there. Do I have a bet or don't I? Bo?
You're on. $10 says you can't ride that horse.
Lamar?
Same bet.
Mm-hmm. How about you, CJ?
I'm in.
Charlie?
Why don't you make it $20?
No, 10's my limit. How about you, Slim?
You sure?
Look, I'm Indian.
Bet.
Vince? I don't know anything about horses. But $10 says you can't ride them.
Thank you, Vince. Let him out. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Vince. Any questions?
Yeah, I got a question. What'd you whisper in that horse's ear?
Well, I just told him that if he didn't trot around this corral as easy as a Tennessee walker, I'd kill him.
You wouldn't kill that horse.
Well, of course not. He doesn't know that.
cock your pistols.
Must be an extra special VIP list for Houston to throw a party at such short notice.
His invitation list looks like a who's who of international dollars. Oh, here comes someone now. Ah, how very nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. I'm Murray Chase, Mr. Houston's vice president in charge of various things. And you're... Please, don't tell me. Mr. Houston sent me a telegram with all of your names on it. Oh, what did I do with that telegram? General, I think?
Malcolm Abercrombie, and this is my wife, Celeste.
Lady Celeste. I'm Murray Chase.
Yes, so you said.
Derwin Dunlop. Yes, indeed. The Derwin Dunlop. The genius who invented the Exodus home computer.
I'm very anxious to meet with the great Mr. Houston and to do business with him.
Oh, yes, indeed. It isn't often one gets a personal invitation in the form of a telegram to get in on the ground floor of a multi-million-dollar Houston Industries ploy.
Well, right this way, please. Thank you. Oh, just make yourselves comfortable and I will join you in just a moment. Girls, thank you very much. I really appreciate you doing this.
A Sunday afternoon, you're lucky to find us in.
Well, it's like I said, I didn't even know about it myself until this morning. But, you know, I can't figure out still why Houston didn't phone me. I mean, why did he send me a telegram instead?
CJ, you know, I still can't figure out why Murray sent me a telegram. I mean, instead of calling me on the phone, you know how he loves to talk on the phone.
Well, Houston, you know how Murray is. He probably got overly excited when he got a call from the aide to the Vice President of the United States asking to have drinks in your office.
Yeah, well, I tell you, I feel like a penguin in this get-up.
I wouldn't know, Houston. I've never dated a penguin.
Yeah. Well, CJ, listen, would you remind me to get away from the Vice President as soon as possible? I got something real important to do tonight.
Houston, what could be more important than being the keynote speaker at a banquet honoring the Vice President of the United States?
I'll tell you something. I promised little Tony Novelli I'd be at his first communion party tonight, and that's very important. See, he's my buddy.
Your Royal High. What does one call a Maharaja?
I'd call him sexy.
Yeah, I had Mr. Houston's guest list, and I know there was one Maharaja's name, but
Maharaja of Ranjipur. It is an honorary title only. I prefer being called Mo. It's short for my given name, Mohandas. I would introduce the lovely lady, but I'm afraid all we have in common is one short elevator ride.
I'm Clover McKenna.
Certainly are. Wow. Jet set everything. Pilot, skydiver, Grand Prix champion. You even had an article in People magazine last week.
Well, I guess that high-priced PR man of mine's been doing his job.
Well, if you will follow me, I would be glad to introduce you to the rest of our guests. No, thank you. Of course. And you all know Derwin Dunlop? And of course, Clover McKenna.
By reputation only. Is that a compliment or an insult, Lady Celeste? Make of it what you will. Had I known that you were going to be here.
That will be Mr. Houston. you got here.
What? The party start without me?
Well, I wouldn't exactly call it a party, but your guests are here.
My guess. Murray, I did... Murray, what the hell's going on here?
The business meeting you told me to set up.
What business meeting, Murray? The telegram you sent me told me to be here to meet the vice president.
Vice president? Houston, I don't know what you're talking about. This is your party.
Murray, read my lips. I did not set up any party.
Then why did you send me a telegram this morning telling me to meet and greet these guests of yours?
You got a telegram, too?
Yeah, it's inside. I don't understand.
I don't either. But I think we better go inside and take a look at that telegram. Well, Clover, I mean, what a surprise. Would you look at you?
Oh, Houston. It's been a long time.
Well, it has been a long time, yes. Well, I've got a problem, Clover. I'd say I'm just wondering why you and all these other people are here.
Oh, you're kidding. Well, you invited us.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Listen, why don't we go meet some people, all right? Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Matt Houston.
Derwin Dunlop.
Derwin Dunlop. It's a pleasure, sir. And you're Raja Ranju. Nice to meet you, and Malcolm Abercrombie. My wife's Celeste. It's quite a pleasure.
Houston, here's the telegram.
Well, according to this, folks, I did invite you all here, but there's just one small problem. See, I didn't send this telegram.
Well, here's the telegram you sent me.
Sunday, 6 p.m., an invitation to a formal dinner to form a multi-million-dollar business combine. It's guaranteed to triple its investment in 6 weeks. And it's signed Matt Houston.
A duplicate of the cablegram I received.
And I.
Well, it is obvious that we have all been duped.
Is someone playing a joke?
If they are, I may know the reason why. But you're not going to like it.
Well, give it your best shot, Maharaj.
Aside from your two business associates, Miss C.J. Parsons and Mr. Murray Chase, we all do have something in common. We...
You all right?
Oh!
C.J., paramedics, pronto. Let's get him over to the couch, all right?
Okay.
Houston, all the phones are out of order.
CJ, try the chopper radio. Now, let's get in here. Let's put some pressure on this, would you? You got it. Buddy, stay put. CJ, are you all right?
I'll let you know when my heart starts pumping again.
Yeah, what happened?
I reached for the door and something just blew.
It's a nifty little gadget. That's what made it blow. Now, whoever planted that certainly knew what he was doing.
Houston, the elevator doors won't open.
Well, Murray, you got to use the emergency stairs. Walk down.
I tried. The emergency exit's been sealed off from the outside. That door won't budge.
Murray, are you saying that we are stuck in this skyscraper with no way out?
No, that's what I'm trying not to say. But you said it for me.
Houston, this whole thing is getting very spooky. Do you agree?
Yes, I do. Well, you can forget about the radio.
Will the chopper fly?
Not even if Superman strapped it on his back. I'll tell you, we've got no phone, no radio, no helicopter. We got no elevator and no stairs. What we've got is a bomb and a poison dart. It's just not my idea of a fun party.
Father, this is for you. Hey, Bo, Lamar, pull up some pizza and have some fun.
of these days, he's gonna learn to stay on his horse.
Oh. Come on in and celebrate my Tony's first reunion. Gino, what's that fine Chianti for Mr. Bow and Mr. Lamar? By the way, where's Houston, CJ?
Houston and CJ gonna be a mite late, Mom. Yeah, they had to stop by the office for another shindig first. But don't worry, they wouldn't miss this. No, sirree, they wouldn't miss this over their dead bodies.
The important thing is to make sure that all those folks out there do not panic. Now, we got to jump on this thing, Murray. I want you to entertain them and just make sure everybody stays calm. CJ, you've got to find a way to communicate with the outside world.
Well, I've already got Derwin out on the patio trying to attract attention, but Houston, we're on the top floor of a skyscraper and nobody particularly cares.
It's gonna be dark soon. Why don't you use a flashlight to send SOSs? Maybe we'll get lucky, find someone in the ground who reads Morse code.
That's a good idea, Murray.
Maharaj is dead.
It'll be all right.
Don't you touch me, ever.
could not agree with you more, but I tell you something. The Maharaja's privacy was invaded something awful, and I fully intend to do something about it.
Well, I'll submit to a body search if you do it personally, Houston.
This is some other time, Clover.
Houston, what is the point of all this?
Well, I'll tell you, Brigadier, have you ever read the phrase in the good book, seek and ye shall find? Well, I'm planning on doing a little seeking and a little finding.
Find what?
Well, hopefully, like a dart gun or a remote control device, anything that the killer might be planning on using on his or her next victim.
Another killing?
That's right, Murray. There's a strong possibility that there could be several more. Because I really don't believe that whoever's responsible for sending him to that big Taj Mahal in the sky went to all that trouble for just one victim. No, I don't. So shall we get started here? Ladies first, hmm? Celeste. If letters are personal, you can hang on to that if you wish.
Thank you.
Well, there's nothing here. Okay, gentlemen. Well, there is no remote control device or no dart gun, so I think it's about time we switch games. Let's say 20 questions. And the first question, ladies and gentlemen, is which one of us killed the Maharaja?
One of us.
Come off it, Clover. I mean, there is a man dead here, and I do not see any other suspects floating around. Now, let's just take it from the beginning, all right? Now, we do have the dart that killed the Maharaja.
May I see that?
Certainly.
This dart is used by Central African natives. I've seen these hellish things when I was there. They're tipped with a deadly, fast-acting poison.
Yes, well, so we've seen. But I tell you, the question is, has anybody else here been to Africa recently?
Just because I've been to Africa doesn't mean I killed him.
Well, I don't recollect anybody saying that you did, Brigadier. Now, there is one other thing that's been sticking in my craw. Yeah, you see, whoever's controlling all these electronic gadgets and gizmos has to be some kind of electronic wizard. I mean, to get in here on Friday after hours and rig the entire place, now that's something.
You mean someone who builds computers? Someone like me?
You're the one who said it.
Well, I'm also saying that I had no reason to kill that man. I never met him before today, and I had no motive.
Well, that is absolutely ridiculous.
Yes.
Of course you didn't have a motive. I
Totally
told you
ridiculous.
before.
Oh, come on, Houston. That's enough of this game.
Oh, now hold on, folks. Just hold it a minute, all right? Please. Derwin, you being an electronic crackerjack of sorts, would you mind seeing if you can breathe some life back in that chopper radio for me? Hmm?
I can try.
Thank you, sir. Now, friends, we've got ourselves a couple of problems here. One being that none of us here have a motive to kill the Maharaja. Two being that nobody seems to have met the man before today, or at least that's what I've been told.
You were told wrong. My husband, he'd met the Maharaja.
Yes, it was many years ago, in India. I was on a goodwill mission to Rajipur. He must have been all of 10 years old. I'd never have known him after all these years if we hadn't been introduced again today.
Well, that's strike two, Brigadier. Because he said something just before he died. He said, all of us in this room have something in common except for CJ and Murray. Now, does anybody here have an idea of what that common denominator might be?
Hey, Houston, I think I got something.
Everybody stay put, all right? Mayday, Mayday, come in. Can anybody hear me?
Mr. Houston was asking about common denominators.
Frankly, Clover, I cannot think of anything more common than you. I know you. Mr. Houston knows you. My husband certainly knows you.
Steady on her, girl.
I have had about enough of your holier-than-thou attitude. No common thread exists. Derman was a total stranger to me before today, so you can kiss your theory goodbye, Lady Celeste.
I'd rather you kissed my husband goodbye, you adulterous tramp!
Mayday, Mayday. Can anybody read me? Come in, please.
It's a waste of time, Houston. What I got must have been that radio's death.
Houston, I think the natives are getting restless.
What's going on in there? What is that? Couldn't you do anything about this?
Thank you, boy. I'm rather enjoying it.
Ladies, come on now, ladies.
Enough. You're supposed to be a lady.
Let me go! You're supposed to be a gentleman, not an adolescent schoolboy dressing after a promiscuous chippy. Please, please, let me go! I want to get out of here!
There'll be a hot time in the old town tonight.
Somehow I don't feel like dancing. Lady Celeste's purse. Houston, what's the rule on reading other people's mail?
Well, I'd say if it happens to belong to a corpse and the contents of the said letter might save a few lives, my rule is go for it, CJ.
What a ghastly way to go.
I wanted us to be free of her. But not like this. Still, there is all that money.
Well, what'd you find out?
Well, if we were planning a stroll on the patio, our killer just canceled it.
Yeah, well, that's what I gathered after what happened to Lady Celeste.
How does that thing work?
It's an electronic force field. Electric eyes on either side of the door. Break that beam by walking through the field and, well, you saw what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I tell you what, let's try something. Now, there's no way to deactivate this thing, huh?
If there is, I haven't found it.
Yeah, well, just out of curiosity. Murray, it's a wooden handle.
Great. Now we're really trapped. We can't even get out on the patio to send an SOS.
Well, tell me something, Dr. Wizard. We've all been walking through these doors since we arrived. Why wasn't somebody electrocuted then?
Because the killer didn't want them to die, yet. I figure we'll each be murdered in a different and very bizarre way.
Well, that's a cheery thought. If the killer's as smart as I think he is, he's got every possible exit wired in this office.
Excuse me. Houston, I just read Lady Celeste's letter. I suggest you do the same thing. Now that killer's messing around with my baby. Revenge 2, Houston 0. So far, you've been shut out.
Yeah, and I didn't even want to play.
The guilty 6 must die, including you, Houston Wonderful.
Yeah, how come I get special billing?
What is this?
CJ, I do believe Mr. Revenge is having some fun with us. He's spoon-feeding us clues.
Monte Carlo, 5 years ago.
Must be Rajapur.
That's the late Maharaja. He's viewing India's Republic Day parade. Who will die next? I wonder if that's a multiple choice question.
Okay, that's it. I'm taking control of baby right now. Touch one more key and you die. Oh, really?
CJ.
Watch this.
CJ, hold it. Come here. Just hold your horses.
Thanks, Houston. That could have hurt.
Mm-hmm.
When's Dr. Houston going to get him?
I don't know, son. I just called his office and the phone is still out of order.
Tesoro, vieni qua, vieni. Come on and dance with Grandma. I want to see you shake, rattle, and roll. Vieni, go.
Any word from Houston? No, I'm going to send the patrol car around and check his building out.
Patrol car?
You figure something's happened to him?
I don't know. All I know is he's got 26 phone lines, 2 backup generators, and I still can't get in touch with him. If he's in that building, it doesn't make any sense.
You need some help?
Oh, I think I got it here. You know, it looks to me like this was electronically aimed and fired.
At me?
Well, not at you specifically, CJ, but where you were sitting. Now, would you look at this? I wonder what the killer had in mind for this sword.
Not a sword. It's a saber. There's a difference.
Well, excuse me, Brigadier. Don't get your crumpets all bent out of shape. It's just that, well, down home, we'd call this a Texas-sized frog sticker. It is some handsome handiwork, I must admit. You know, I saw one just like this when I was in England. Judging by the royal crest, I'd say it was from a king or a queen. Tell me something. Would you mind telling me your full name, Brigadier?
What on earth for?
Well, just for whatever it's worth, I guess.
Malcolm James Abercrombie.
Well, I'll be. It's got your initials on it.
May I see that?
Certainly.
It's mine. How on earth it got here, I have no idea. Her Majesty presented it to me 5 years ago.
Another coincidence, Brigadier. Now, have you ever seen that gun before?
It's a sterling. And in answer to your next question, it's made in Britain.
Hold it, Houston. An unused saber and a British gun does not make Malcolm guilty.
It's a good point, Clover, but I tell you something, all these coincidences do have a tendency to add up.
Like neglecting to mention the fact that you had previously met the Maharaja?
Or like the affair you've been having with Clover, which your wife objected to rather strenuously.
Your late wife.
You people seem to have formed some sort of conspiracy to find me guilty of things I'm not guilty of. Why should I kill Celeste? I could have divorced her. It would have settled everything.
Now, I'll tell you something. This is a letter from Lady Celeste to her attorney. Now, it looks as though she was about to tie a can to your tail. She was going to divorce you.
Leave you without a shilling.
That's right. And so you figured the best thing to do was to kill her because you were the only heir.
Rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
Is it rubbish? Now, that fight that she got into earlier, now, you came into the room and all she wanted to do was exit, and you stopped her.
She was trying to get away. The poor thing could never face a confrontation. She always fled the room when one occurred.
That's right, but you stopped her. And I tell you, it looked an awful lot like you just pointed her at that patio door where she was electrocuted.
I did nothing of the kind. What do you people want of me?
Well, I'll tell you something. For the morale of everybody in this room, a full confession would be dandy.
That you will never have. No, I'm warning you. Houston, I don't want to have to use this.
Why don't you just put it down, Brigadier? I mean, you're not the type to be running around poking holes in people. Besides, it's very uncivilized.
Not to mention messy.
Why don't you just put the frog sticker down, Brigadier? And you and I'll have a little chat. Yourself a seat. That's more like it.
Still in the dark, Houston? Here's a clue or two.
Well, you just keep them coming, Mr. Revenge, because one of these days you're going to slip up and give me one clue too many.
Where did that film come from?
Well, I'm not sure, but maybe you could explain a little bit about it, Derwin.
There's nothing much to tell. It was about 5 years ago. I had just invented the Exodus home computer. And the California chapter of the American Electronics Association had given me a special award. They named me Man of the Year.
Yeah, well, Derwin, you being the electronical whiz kid that you are, maybe you could see if you can get control of Baby back to us, huh?
I'll give it a try. It'll take some time, though.
Taps.
Yeah, but for whom? The Brigadier or the rest of us? It's 3 down and 3 to go, Murray.
Houston, something has got to be done.
Murray, I'm working on it. How you doing, Derwin?
Well, it's not easy, Houston, but I'm getting there.
Murray, what is going on?
Houston, letting that person work on Baby is a monumental mistake. You said it yourself. Practically everything in this office has been electronically rigged. And Derwin's...
I know, is an electronic genius.
Houston, he's got to be the killer.
Well, Murray, maybe he is and maybe he's not, but I tell you what keeps sticking in my mind is, now, a couple of years back, I had a layover at this airport, so I picked myself up one of those murder mysteries, you know? Well, it was all about a group of folks that were trapped in this house, and they were being picked off one by one.
That's exactly what's happening here.
Yeah, I know, but see, I tell you, the way it ended, it turns out that the first victim really wasn't dead at all. See, he staged his death. And it was him that was picking off the people all along.
Houston, are you thinking...
Uh-huh. Let's go look for the Maharaja.
Houston, they're all gone.
Okay, Bambino. Looks like it's gonna rain. I think we better go home like everybody else.
But Uncle Houston promised he'd be here, and he will never break a promise.
Yeah, I know. It's part of the cowboy code. But something must have come up.
Grazie per tutto, eh? Oh, Carl.
I am.
Okay, Hopalong. We'll give it a little while longer.
Lieutenant, I checked out the Houston building like you said. All secure.
Front and back.
Every. Tight as a drum.
Are you sure?
Well, there was something funny.
Yeah, what?
It's sort of hard to explain.
Come on, Carl. Talk to me.
Well, when I walked around into the alley behind Houston's building, there was this... Lieutenant, you're gonna think I'm bonkers.
Come on, out with it now.
Well, there was this old wino sitting there all by himself.
Yeah.
And he was wearing an old, worn-out sports coat. Gray tweed. A dead ringer for the one I owned when I graduated high school.
That's it?
Told you it sounded bonkers.
Yeah, you did say that, Carl. Okay, look, if the gray sports coat shows up again, do me a favor. Don't call me. I'll call you.
Oh, Carl, are you hungry?
On a diet, Mama. I'll take a rain check.
Well, that should do it. I did a bypass operation on her. You should have control now.
I told everybody you were a genius, Derwin. I knew you could do it.
Yeah, listen, CJ, would you put up that Indian parade stuff with the Maharaja in it?
Okay.
Since he was murdered first, let's stick with him.
What do you expect to find, Houston?
Well, hopefully a little proof that I really did read all those chapters in the book.
And the Maharaja faked his death.
Oh, Houston, you took his pulse. He had to be dead.
Either that or he found a way to make us believe he was dead.
How?
I'll tell you, Murray, there's several different ways you can do it. Now, there's some drugs. They're not your average, everyday, over-the-counter drugs, but there's a few of them that will suppress the vital signs temporarily. Now, hold it, CJ, would you blow that up a little bit? Now, before tonight, I never set eyes on that man. Now, I've done business with him in the past, but always long distance. Yeah, CJ, see if you can blow it up just a little bit more.
Sure.
Okay, now freeze that. Okay, folks, meet the real Maharaja of Ranjapur.
So our guest was a phony Maharaja.
That's what I'm betting on, CJ. Listen, would you put up the Monte Carlo shot of Clover? Now, when was this taken?
5 years ago.
5 years ago. Now, why does that phrase keep popping up? 5 years ago. I wonder if that's the common denominator that we've been looking for.
Easton, I think you've got something. I mean, 5 years ago, the Brigadier was presented his saber. 5 years ago, Derwin won the Man of the Year award. And 5 years ago, Clover won the Monte Carlo race.
But Clover, at that point in time, besides winning the race, was there anything that happened in your life, anything unusual or different?
Nothing I can think of. I won the race, and I flew back to the States a day or two after that. Oh, there was that party given in my honor.
But wait, what party? I mean, who gave the party for you?
Oh, this American I met in Monte Carlo I would rather forget.
Well, has he got a name?
Brogan.
T. Dempster Brogan?
That's the one. Do you know him?
And then some.
Now, I know a Brogan, too. Derwin, do you know a Brogan $5 million worth? Ladies and gentlemen, all the pieces are finally beginning to fit together. You know, we're all our own common denominator here. Derwin, me, Clover, and the late Abercrombies. You see, just 5 years ago, Brogan set up a so-called non-profit organization and built a dam in Ranjapur. We all collectively gave him $20 million to do it, supposedly to help the starving natives.
And Brogan went south with the 20 mil.
Yeah, but then he was arrested in India. On our deposition, he was tried, convicted, and sent to an Indian prison. And I tell you, judging from what happened tonight, I'd say that he escaped or he was released, one of the two.
Houston, are you saying...
Well, Mr. Revenge Brogan, guess who? I know you're in here. And I'll bet you $1 you've been using my elevator to come and go as you please, and I bet you're in there right now. I know you got your heart set on killing me and Clover and Derwin. I'll tell you something, it'd be a very big financial mistake, because if you kill me, I can't write you a big, fat, blank check. No, and I know you got very expensive habits. So what do you say, Maharaja? Why don't you come on out of there and we'll all hunker down over the checkbook here and get this thing squared away, huh? My congratulations on your makeup expertise, Maharaja Brogan.
It's the actor in me, Houston. I always wanted to be one.
I guess killing is a little more profitable, is that it?
Okay. Everyone but Houston. Into the elevator. Our friends stay locked in while you and I hunker down over your checkbook.
Now, how do I know that you're not just going to kill us all when I hand over the check to you?
You don't.
Thing hasn't been fired since my great-granddaddy used it in his last turkey shoot. Hey, buddy.
Houston, you promised you'd come. I knew you'd keep your promise no matter how long it took.
Well, partner, what are you still doing here,
Houston! Oh, guarda, guarda, guarda. The princess and the pauper. What kind of crazy party you been to?
Yeah, Houston, what happened? You look like somebody used your face for a soccer ball.
Well, it's really not that bad. See, Vince, we went to a terrific party. I mean, all kinds of nifty people.
Real nifty people. Maharajas, the English aristocracy, a brigadier.
Yeah, that's right. And you know how those things are. I mean, we just kind of got trapped.
Good point, Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Houston. I'm so glad I finally got you. I've got good news. The coroner found the other two in the stairwell. And I've got better news. The bomb damage to the chopper, the machine gun holes in the furniture, the broken picture window, and the bloodstains in the carpet, all covered by insurance. $50 deductible.
Houston, what's he talking about?
I have no idea.
It's a $100 deductible.